Right, hi. Welcome to another stream. We're gonna be looking at Vancouver Titans against Washington Justice from last night. It was a pretty insane match.
Widowmaker because he's going.
Yo, can to watch with you since I did it properly. Yeah, no, I was kind of not watching the first two maps because like, oh, okay, yeah, Vancouver's gonna stomp those kids, right? And it's just not gonna be a match even. And then this happened. So I watched the last two maps, but I didn't really watch the first one.
Hacksaw playing whether it's like a Far or Genji and trying to put pressure on him, which Hacksaw one of the best.
Because in my head, like Vancouver Titans been playing Genji bunker style kind of thing, but they try to play meta more. I think that was what went wrong. They played meta over comfort. You haven't used VLC for this. Is there a way I can get it better? And there we go. Then I just need my drawing tool.
From Vancouver though, this could be interesting. Potentially you get a Doomfist Forest setup. Correct Doomfist. I'm here for it. We'll see if they decide to stick with this or they see some stuff and then they decide to change. But Doomfist you can get.
Okay, yeah, I know, like the match was actually insane. But let's look at the comps first. So the casters jokingly call this goats because this is the comp that is like the most played. And it seems to be winning most things. And the idea is kind of all of these heroes are annoying and hard to deal with. So especially on Koth, first thing first, Stratus next posture incorrect. Now this is optimal peak gaming. It's like, if I had a camera I would show, he just turns his monitor so it goes straight upwards. It is to catch the light from the ceiling better, right? He has like this special gamer lamp above him that enhances his FPS. And sitting in that posture allows him to, the human eye, to see 300 FPS. So it's just how things work. Yeah, but all of these things are really hard to deal with, and the idea of the comp is that we're gonna stand on point. If you touch point, we're gonna wall you, we're gonna kill you, we're gonna pull you. If you try to spam us, we're gonna eat it. If you try to get there quicker than us, we are fast. And if you try to spam us, we have AoE healing. You cannot really dive this comp in any way, because of the amount of damage they have, and there's no real dive target. So you're really gonna struggle diving it. And spamming it's gonna be difficult because spamming takes so long against all the Orisa shields. It's not like goats where the shield is dead, we can finally deal damage. No, there's an Orisa shield. Oh, we killed the Orisa shield. Wait, there's a new Orisa shield. So, this map was originally where goat started being played a lot. Like, goats was by far the most played comp on this map. This was one of the first maps where everyone was like, goats is insane. And that's because the sightline really fits that kind of comp, and the sightlines are not that good for spam. Same reason that Lijiang Night Market became a quad tank map. This map would also probably become a quad tank map if quad tank meta lasted longer. But these maps where there are a point with a lot of open space around, so it's hard for other flankers and Pharah to get space. And even if that was the case, Vancouver is not rolling out in a spam comp. They're rolling out on Pharah Doomfist, which I'm not sure why they would. It's pretty good against Ryan comps, it's pretty good against dive, it's pretty good against like something spammy. But I don't see it being really good against this because the Doomfist should not be able to do anything. So going at the comp, I think Washington Justice comp is better for Koth.
A lot of value inside of the lighthouse area. Like right now, the Justice are going to try and take the point with their composition, get the May walls up, but the Doomfist can fly on in.
Also, here's a different thing. When Hacksaw is taking an off angle, so imagine this is the point. There's a shield here, there's 5 people here, and then there's Hacksaw over here. There's 4 people here, and there's Hacksaw and Mercy here. They're playing from this direction, and these 4 people are playing from this direction. This shield never breaks because the Pharah is not shooting it. The only person dealing damage is the Pharah. This is an actual 1v6 currently.
But Justice have the Lucio, makes it a little bit easier to get back to the point. It's been a long time since he's been considered a main healer, but the utility and speed is very important.
Okay, we talked about this in the Discord. It's a main healer and a main support are two very different things. A main support used to be called that because that's the person who always plays support and doesn't flex off it, and he also is the main Lucio player, Mercy player, whatnot. And then the flex support flexes off support and flexes between all the other supports. And then it's all about comfort, who plays what. And a main healer is the person who heals the most, and an off healer is the utility support. It's just annoying when casters use the wrong terms.
Max out safely though, but get a lot of damage. This is definitely a hero that he's known for playing. Guido goes down.
Okay, you gotta pick against this comp. They're all low. Can you go in on them? No, you can't. There's a main and a Reaper alive. You cannot walk in on this comp. Maybe if you're playing Ball, maybe if you're playing Winston, maybe if you're playing Ryan, but with the rest, you can't walk in on this comp.
So it was almost a matter of time. They were looking for picks, but in committing to getting that kill, Hureg goes down to Corey. So it's a 1-for-1 trade with DPS is falling over, and that.
They walk in, they get walled, they get shut down. There's still a Reaper and a Mei alive. These characters do not necessarily need healing. Guido and Ark are just playing those two healers for the tanks and because they're hard to kill. And they're good at getting around with the DPS.
Shield in the corner is so important. Great placement by Giannis even after he goes down. Axel can't do too much while that's up.
Ureg can really kind of go on in without his tanks. Could potentially get frozen here.
Oh, he misses the uppercut. That's really sad.
It's a 1-for-1 is not enough.
If that uppercut right there hits, they win this fight. And they might actually just straight up win the map from it. That one uppercut missing is so massive.
He needs to get more than that. Your hero's designed to get multi-kills when you only get one. It's not really worthwhile. Just Slime hung around here. He jets off to the high ground and joined Janu. He will be able to escape from being frozen.
And the Justice, the big fight with, they have to use some ultimates to be able to do it, but they're able to secure the point. They're going to get up to pass.
I do not understand. Why are you still on Doomfist? They don't deal with the Pharah because the Pharah doesn't do anything. They are just dealing with everything else, and that as long as 4 people on that team is useless. So as long as this guy and this guy are the only ones doing anything, this guy either trades or dies. This person standing still doing nothing, this person standing still doing nothing, and this person standing still doing nothing. None of them are actually doing anything, so you don't need to deal with this because they can't actually kill you. That is the whole point. The Pharah Doom comp is meant to work with these two being 2 threats. This guy comes from one side, this is spamming from the other. And then you have some sort of tanks running into that enemy team. And you almost need to play dive tanks because you want to have Doomfist come from one side, Winston come from one side, and how do you don't break through, right? If you're going to play this Vancouver comp, you probably need to switch this, play something like Hanzo, play a Mei, play something that actually helps you create space instead of being a one-shot bot. Because there's no good punch targets. If you absolutely want to play Doom, you would need to play triple DPS. Because you still need more spam to actually find value in your tanks. And if your tanks has no value, there's no point in playing Doom. So I don't think Vancouver Titans can break through with their comp. They don't have enough damage to do so. Because you punching the shield doesn't do anything.
It's 50% here. Do you win another fight here if you're the Justice? Prevent some of the ultimates charging up here on the Titans. You're in a position to take this first point.
It's tough for Janu here, man. There's not a whole lot he can do. Getting frozen by Stratus is something he can only really avoid by running away.
So how are they positioned to hold the point? Well, the D.Va is contesting this window, the Reaper is contesting this window, Orisa is contesting that window, and that is everything except these two contested, which means that the Mei wall is contesting these two. Any successful examples of countering Justice comp in Owl? Not yet, and that is why this is called GOATs. Yeah, no, there is no successful examples of this being countered on Koth. There are examples of other map types, but this is very much a Koth-only comp. The theory around how you play it is very good on Koth, very good on payload defense, but not very good on other map types. So it's pretty poor on Hybrid, it's pretty poor on 2CP, and that's just like the nature of the game and how you would play those map modes and which comps are historically good on those map modes. And they just kind of lose to the basics in those maps. But on Koth it's really, really good because it takes so long to dislodge this comp that they will just win by standing on point, and then you need to touch, and then, yeah. But in my head, playing Pharah Hanzo or Pharah Mei could work really well. I think Pharah is heavily underplayed. But we will see.
Axel playing safe, getting shots into the corner here. Twilight does not have nano boost available, so it'd be very risky to go in for a barrage here until the fight starts to slant further in the Titans' favor. There it is, gets Corey, that's a big pick. Now maybe you think about it, wait for the sound barrier.
See, Hurek goes in, Hurek dies. Hurek has not done anything. He got one pick on Guido in the first fight. The rest of the game he's sitting there doing nothing. He needs to change his hero. Like usually there's always a way to play a hero to get value, but against this comp, Mei is great into Doomfist, Reaper is great into Doomfist, Orissa's great, or Moira is great, Lucio's great. All these heroes are really good into Doomfist. Why are you still playing Doomfist?
Is Haxal, he thinks too risky to go for a barrage here. Now he goes for, he's going to get the supercharger first. He needs to watch the edge of this door. He'll take splash damage from his own.
Oh boy, he barraged and killed the Bongo. Great value. And he can never properly peek for a barrage, because if he does, he gets DM'd and killed by Stratus and Sansam.
Rockets just gets the pick off on that supercharger. They need to get rid of that shield right now. The Orisa barrier protecting most.
Oh, look at that. What is Doom supposed to do?
Justice from the self-destruct. But
Can I go back?
into the fight.
Wait, oh my god.
Axel has to
I am not very good at controlling VLC yet.
The first rounds are like the back. Now he's going to go for the death loss finish. It's not really worthwhile. It's just slime enough as Doomfist. It's not really worthwhile. It's just slime hung. Playing safe, getting shots into the corner here.
Okay, watch from here again.
Does not have nano boost available, so it'd be very risky to go in for a
I think
barrage here until the fight starts.
this is going to be easier to control.
There it is, gets Corey, that's a big pick. Now maybe you think about it.
Okay, so after the barrage, that fucks up, watch the Doomfist punch.
Too risky to go for a barrage here. Now he goes for, he's going to get the supercharger first. He needs to watch the edge of this door. He'll take splash damage from his own rockets. Just gets the pick off
Okay,
that
so they rest Hureg.
They need to get rid of that shield right now. The
Really nice block from Stratus onto the Doomfist punch. It does nothing. And now Hureg is in a position like,
Orisa barrier protecting most of
I guess I uppercut,
but Hurek's been brought back into the fight. A late Doomfist entrance would be
and then he kills someone even, right? But this comp has so much stabilization. There's now a Reaper ult, they kill him, Hureg jumps off the map, I don't know why. And then they play some, like, Mei ult is almost like an EMP, it's just like an instant, you cannot be here ultimate. And it's one of the two ultimates of its kind in the game. It's Mei ult and EMP. This area is now no-no zone. Because barriers do not block LOS, enemy Mei wolves do not block LOS to the freeze. There's nothing except natural environment and natural cover which blocks sightlines.
Johnny caught here. He's going to be frozen down. He gets 2 quick kills now. It has to be the nano boost.
Okay, how do they not win this fight?
Some of these rockets in the corner. Is Guido trying to get away? He had coalescence. And he's going to be taken down.
Janus going back and ball.
The Titans had to stay afloat.
Yes, Giannis switched over to the wrecking ball to potentially get back to the point if it's winnable. It was not. Giannis will go back, switch over to Orisa. You take a look at Janu's POV here. He flies through. Now it's
Hureg.
Corey off. Also gets some.
Okay, that was massive boop.
Yeah, Stratus was
Walking in, Washington has nothing. They should not be able to win this fight. But they are going to win it because Bumper is on ball and Ball is a bad hero.
on this. That's pretty big.
And it was a risky res at that. The entirety of the Justice were waiting on that perch to punch.
No, Ball in and of itself is not a bad hero. But any hero which can be countered by, okay, I'm gonna pick this hero now, is bad. It's like watching the Mei VOD review yesterday. That, oh, if you play Mei into Bull and you just left click him, he can't do anything. You remove him from the game and he just dies. Okay, Bull has no value. Bull is bad.
That coalescence that Guido's been keeping in his
So whenever I call a pick bad, I'm not calling the hero bad, except Ryan because Ryan is bad. And Winston because Winston is bad. But in the situation of Ball or Orisa, the hero pick is poor.
pocket. So at least allow the Justice to get to the point. Axel has to respect Stratus here. Took an icicle to the knee, but still an adventurer for the time being.
They got to point for free.
Not good at all.
And the reason they get to point for free is who's in Titans is gonna stand there stopping them? Hureg? No, he's gonna one shot, he's gonna die. Bumper, he's gonna get frozen, he's gonna die. Axel, no, he's Pharah. There's no one who can actually stand and stop them from going point. They're playing goats. They run to point, they stand on point, then they die, they reset, they run back to point, they stand on point, they die, they run back, they stand on point. and then they only need to win. Like, the really broken thing about this, the same thing that was really broken about goats, on the Koth, you do not need to win more than one fight to win with goats. If you play this kind of comp, you need to win 4, maybe 5 fights to win the match. But with this comp, you start off by running to point. You stand on point until you die, you get 50%. Then you go back, and then you come back, and then you go on point. The enemy team got 30%, you're on 50, you recap because they can't contest you. You get 99% and you die. They go up to 60%, you run to point, you stand there, it's overtime, they have to touch. They can't touch, they die. And then that's when you win the last fight. You only need to win one fight with this comp, and that's why it's so good.
I mean, you lost your main tank. And you do fist.
And it's also what makes Koth a really stupid game mode, in a way. I think having Koth as the, like, in contenders, after you played every single game mode, you play Koth again, and then you just keep playing Koth until the series is over. Which happened last season in a game in NA playoffs of contenders, where they played 5 Koth maps, I think, or 4 Koth maps. Like, they just played so many maps, they went to map 7. And the team that won only won the Koth maps, because their playstyle was really good on Koth. And the idea of the way you play Koth is so different from every other game mode because you don't need to win fights. It's so centered around point control.
From Huxon now, he needs to try and save the day somehow, but Salberry again, great timing from Mark to lay that down. That's twice now that Huxon's not been able to get a value ultimate because of the Lucio ultimate in play. Nano boost on Janu, but he's still going to be frozen like the rest of them. Defense Matrix doesn't save him there. Bumper drops into the point now, and it is just him. Adaptive shield will prolong the inevitable, but eventually he also will fall. Overtime now, and there's no one close.
And you can't touch because my ult.
You can't do it airborne either. You can't just, like, it's not platform.
Like, Cuber Titans is playing May Widow. Who's gonna break shield? No one. So what is Washington Justice gonna do? They're gonna walk to point, they're gonna stand on point, they're gonna stand behind their shield. No one's going to die ever because there's no good angles to take for the Widowmaker. And they shouldn't be able to do anything. But let's see. I just think the Cuber Titans comp is absolute garbage. Right here. At least they're playing May, so it's slightly better. So the one thing Washington Justice needs to not do not walk somewhere where she can see your head. All you need to do is just stand next to this wall, stand inside this like tunnel, stand behind your shield, just don't let her click your head, and you win the game. Oh, they want to push? Well, I guess I'll just Maywall off the Widow. Because there's no good. Like, the sightlines on this map are really good because they're long. But against the Orisa comps, even if your sightlines are long, it doesn't mean that the sightlines are good. Because so if I can see this Orisa from this direction, 1,000 meter away, it doesn't matter because she's behind shield. Widow cannot go around them. There's no off angles for her to play. There is no way that she can peek. Like, this is a big wall on point. The entire comp with Reaper May. If you walk through here, you die. If you walk around here, you die. You have to walk around either of these sides to either get to point or get to an off angle. You walk through here, D.Va just flies on you. And your team cannot help you, and they will never overchase. If you want to go around this side on the pillar, D.Va can go for you, and the team is there to follow up because your team cannot control this space, because there's a Reaper and a May. There's no way to take an off angle on this map, and the reason Widow was really good is because she was really good into dive. No one is playing dive here. No one has played dive here in forever. Widow doesn't do anything as long as you play correctly. I recommend Orisa on every map on ladder. I think Orisa is a superior tank on every single map.
They got the coalescence to back it up. The Reaper, man. Yeah, it's gonna force the Titans back. And
But the only time Orisa is not the best tank to play is when your team is stupid and plays weird heroes. Like, if your team locks Genji, Tracer, Sombra, it's like, I can't play Orisa with this, so I'll pick Ball. Or if your team is like, I'm gonna run Hammond. You can still run Orisa with it, but if you don't have like Hanzo and another good DPS, you can't really play it. And if the enemy team just hard counters because they can kill your shield quicker than your team can kill their shield, like she's the optimal hero as long as your team does not play stupidly. So Orisa's just better. Orisa's too good. Orisa needs to be hard nerfed.
If Kurek's not able to find any final blows or whatnot, like you can just keep throwing the Orisa shield forward, moving them back. You have the Mei, you have the Reaper in play. Janu will get taken out. Hurek uses his sight, so he will be switching off, and he'll go to Reaper.
Do we need to bring back the conversation about whether the Titans are going to be good in this meta? I mean, up until now, they've refused to play the Reaper.
Okay, they're mirroring. They're playing a good comp now. The thing is, so far on this map, this person on Mei has not done anything. He has been putting up awkward and weird walls that no one can follow up on. He is not stopping Washington. Like Washington just could probably just pick hog and pull hook because Haxel is not hitting his walls. Hori has been outperforming Horek so far. Maybe now the Mirror Reaper, it might be better, but Horek has not had a good day so far on any of his heroes. Bumper and Orisa seems like an absolute throw. Because he's not pulling. He is not placing shields forward, he's not playing aggressive, he's not taking space, he's just standing very still, not doing much. And he's using his fortify too early. This meta, being on a flank is it shows really poorly right here. But he's on the flank there. Yeah, here we go. Flanking like this is not really a thing anymore. Because if you go here and they spot you, you have to just wraith out this way. And then, okay, I did nothing. Now our shield got destroyed and we have to wait 6 seconds. And I just wasted 6 seconds standing here. That's percent going over to the other team. Okay, so let's see what happens with the flank. The wall did nothing, the flank did nothing, playing point is inherently better for Justice. They wanted to stand here to just farm ultimates.
Not ideal if you're a Vancouver fan, right?
That's putting it like, yeah. They have a fan base who expects dominance every day.
Well, they have players who expect to dominate every day of the week. This is probably frustrating for them as well.
Okay, good stuff.
That was really bad from Sansa. Is there a way to just go back a few seconds in this? I think there is. Anyway, yeah, he's playing really far back. You need to play around your Mei, and you need to play, like, your Mei used the walls. The walls on cooldown. They're gonna jump through here because you placed a bongo right here, so they want to get value from it. So the only person who's gonna go around here is probably Bumper and Hureg, which they do. And then there's a Mei jumping into your middle of your team. And your diva gets so panicked and DMing her or whatever that she just walks into damage.
Freeze the diva first, gets Sansa out of mech, but that's a blizzard now covering quite an area. Janu there loses his mech. Oh, Slime, they're getting caught out with the coalescence. That's not ideal. Guido double.
Wait, how does Guido not get frozen here?
Diva first, gets Sansa out of mech, but that's a blizzard now covering quite an area. Janu there loses his mech. Oh, Slime, they're getting caught out with the coalescence. That's not
Okay, he
ideal.
only gets frozen. Okay, that's fine then. But okay, so they had ult advantage and they win that fight. They trade. Bumper wastes his ultimate, so that gets no value. Haxel uses his. Janus uses his. Stratus uses his. And Giddy. Okay, so it's a 3 for 2 ultimates. Which is a good fight. You never want to use more than one more ultimate than the other team. If they don't use any, you want to use one. If they use one, you want to use 2. Of course, if you can win with no one, that's better, but you don't want to use more than one more than the other team. Also, Horrig farmed 44% of his ultimate in that fight. That is nothing.
For Vancouver, adjusting from like goats to this type of meta is before you.
Also, this is the only hero we've seen Janus perform well on. I think he seems like an actually decent Orisa because he's not making mistakes. The thing about Bumper is that he's trying to make all these plays, but you're playing Orisa, you don't need to make plays. Like, why are you trying to make plays?
Play around Bumper and how
play safe.
He was on the Reinhardt. You can play around Somansu.
This is a complete 180 of the Titans playstyle.
Take a pick. You're 1 through 3 Zarya ranked in the league, and Janu's a fantastic diva.
I think Somansu's still number 1.
You can't really play that way anymore. You have to play around some of these damage dealers. It makes the tanks a little bit less important. That'll be a death block.
Okay, he died. I'm not sure how.
You're 1 through 3 Zarya.
See where that hits. This is such a narrow angle it hits him on.
I think Simon's still number one.
You can't really play that way anymore. You have to play around some of these damage dealers. It makes the tanks a little bit less important.
No, that doesn't hit him. Moira is good when you need Lucio. Moira Lucio is really good. Lucio Reaper is really good together. Therefore, Moira Reaper is good together. Moira is good when you don't want to have a dive target on your team. So, if they played Anna instead of Moira, you could just play dive into it. And you could probably just one-shot the Anna where they came out because they like the direct peel. I got a message. Let me check what that is. There was no important messages. Moira, the main reason you would play Moira ever, because Moira AoE healing is not very, it's not a lot of healing. Healing can be eaten by D.Va. A lot of downsides to playing her. If you just want AoE healing, you'd play Baptiste, right? But there's no one to dive. There is, what about Half versus Moira? How did Bap become Half? But anyway, like, you cannot dive Moira. Moira is undiveable. And her healing is really annoying to deal with, and her ultimate is pretty good. Like, it's pretty good. It's a fair amount of damage, it allows teams with a risk to push. It heals multiple targets at once, so you can just kind of run into them. It synergizes well with May's kit of being, like, stupid, annoying, and hard to kill. Stupid, annoying, and hard to kill. It's the sack comp. Because all these characters are stupid, annoying, and hard to kill. That's the idea of the comp. And because they're hard to kill, and they take long to kill, you just stand on point, and it takes so long to kill you that you win. You just by staying alive. This is an example of not winning fights to win maps. So, Moira is stupid, annoying, and hard to kill, and therefore she's better than other supports because she's harder to kill, and she stays alive for longer, and even if her value per second is less than Anna would die, so the value in total is higher from playing Moira, even though the value per second is lower.
That'll be a Death Blossom, and that's going to be a big self-destruct.
Like, it's the way you need to think about it in comp. It's like, oh, we need healing. I'm solo healing. Okay, I'm gonna pick Anna because she does the most healing, right? Well, she also is the easiest healer to kill. So, if you die early every fight, and in most cases that should happen, why wouldn't you play Mercy? Mercy has less healing, but she has the rest, which is an instant, very high heal because you can rest a tank. It's like 600 HP over 2 seconds when you rest. And she's also really hard to kill. If you're playing in a dive comp and there's no one to peel for you, okay, I'm just gonna dive when I play Anna if they play dive, so I'm gonna play Moira because Moira can't be dove. Just imagine that staying alive is more important than being on the hero who, in theory, does the most. I hope that makes sense to you. But like, staying alive is more important than playing the hero which, in theory, does the most. But if you can't stay alive on that hero, then you shouldn't play it.
Highlights a lot of the healing for the Titan.
And the other coalescence. This is the kind of fight where you want to go for it. It can straight up win fights on its own right now as people so over standing behind that Orisa barrier, but it's not to be the justice.
They may not.
And they have exactly nothing to lose, and paradoxically, that means they're going to win map number 1.
You don't really get to see it or even say it often, but the Titans got rolled on map number 1.
Yeah, so Titans lose the first map to playing a worse comp. If they play Anna and Bunker, enemy could... Yeah, if you played Anna and Bunker, the enemy could switch to dive. If you play Moira and Bunker, they can't. Well, they can switch to it, but I don't think it would work because it takes too long to set up a dive. And it's really hard to dive into it. So, yeah. So, other than that, it's also the ultimate is pretty good. The amount of healing she does is pretty good as long as the D.Va doesn't eat her bull. And she's hard to kill. So, when the Vancouver actually switches over to a good comp, it's too late, and 2, Hurek does not look like he's ever played Mei in his life before. He is, well, let's look at that in the next map. If he plays Mei in the next map, we look at how he could have played.
Close at all. Corey was able to dominate on the Reaper. You had Stratus.
The Washington Justice.
Oh, is that get the nod this year for the these two are attempting to do.
These glasses. I want these glasses so bad. They are really nice.
They wanna
Get
play-
their
they
way
wanna
on
play-
to the next
You're not
Stratus
gonna
is a
play that,
pogger.
3. Kureg's going to be playing around a lot of the shielding.
Okay, Haxels and May. Nice.
Oh,
What is Corey doing? He's picking a Widowmaker as Hanzo. You do not do that. It's, again, like we talked about yesterday, if you're playing Hanzo, you're not playing to duel the enemy Widow. If you wanted to go for picks, off angles, enemy snipers, whatnot, you would play Widowmaker, you wouldn't play Hanzo.
yeah. And with Hanzo having his projectiles having travel time, he doesn't have as much time to react quite often.
Does he do the Bren, I died to the Widowmaker, or let's switch to Widowmaker?
Also important, both teams are playing Hog now, so both Mace have one job and one job only. Stop the enemy team from pull hooking. Or pull pork, or oink and yoink, whatever you want to call it.
Thing here, or is he disciplined enough to stay on the Hanzo?
Team player.
Yep.
Only one of those aforementioned names is team player.
Looks like, yeah, looks like he's going to be the team player, come back out on Hanzo. So, the Justice trying to wrap around this right.
I do think, though, that the Washington Justice DPS duo is stronger than the Titans, but I also think that the Titans support duo is stronger than that of the Washington Justice. I like playing Ana with BAP more, because it allows you to follow up on your pull hooks more. It allows you to deny the enemy team the pull hooks. I think it's better, just because the damage is not that important. Washington Justice is playing Sen Hanzo, but if the enemy team also played Hanzo, the difference in shield break would not be that much. And the Sen would never get real value, I think. But it's okay, because Vancouver is playing Widow.
Hand side to the point, it's, that'll be Stratus go flying in the air, has to block.
Okay, that wall is out for a little bit though, so if the Justice are playing anything, they're going to have to wait a couple more seconds, and they do. Waiting that out. Corey also returning.
That was sick. That was really sick. They just walled everyone up in the high ground and one-shot Stratus. I mean, Hureg. That was actually pretty sick. I like that a lot. Setting his pull hook. If they played Ana, they could have naded that, and maybe he lives.
Slime's mortality field that was missing, so you can hang around a little bit as the Justice now.
They have to wait though. Guido actually tried to make a play for the high ground, got slept, and then they almost pick him off, so they have to wait for Guido. Now he's in play.
He's alive.
Okay, so for Orisa Hog matchups, if a Hog gets pull hook, it's because he mispositions himself. The Hog should never be in a position where it's easy to pull unless you are also pulling. So, the reason in comp a lot of Hogs get pull hooked is because they don't know where to stand. They're like sitting waiting for the pull, instead of sitting back, and then when the pull is shot out, they walk forward. So they end up taking too much damage, the shield breaks, they die while trying to pull hook, or they get pull hooked themselves, and they're sitting waiting for the hook in a bad position. They're so focused on pull hooking themselves that they forget that the enemy team can also pull hook. And then they flame the Orisa for not pulling early enough. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So they pop the backfield behind the wall, so the enemy team won't see where it is. That's going to work for a week, and then people are going to get used to it, and it's not going to work anymore. Both teams are using the Mei wall for shielding, so the shield breaks. Okay, place Mei wall. Get ready for next. Also, Orisa manage cooldowns in mirror comp. Orisa should just shift the enemy pulse, unless you're playing Mei. If you're playing Mei, you should never need to use your shift for pulse, because the pulse should never hit. So what you do instead is that you save your shift for rotations, so that you don't die to spam damage while you're placing a new shield, which allows you to take more space. Either you do that, or you use your Mei wall to force the rotation, so you use your Mei wall, you walk forward, and then you have your fortify for the pull if they pull before the next wall is back. So it's a matter of if you're playing Mei or not, it's a matter of how good your Mei is, it's a matter of positioning and where you want to push, are you playing attack, are you playing defense? But in comp, it's a good idea to just... should I return back to cover if shield breaks? Well, every time you position somewhere, so let's just draw a space. So here's... This is second point Volskaya. And there's a wall here, and then this entrance is the point. This is second point Volskaya, where the point is right here. Thing in the middle. When an Orisa walks in, she should always try to position her shield so that it's next to somewhere she can walk into. So that, okay, I'm in the choke, my shield broke, I go back here. I walk forward a bit, play shield further forward, I walk into here, or I walk behind these boxes. You should always have somewhere to walk to the side to. You should not use your cooldowns to just stand still and do nothing. And your shield should not break quicker than theirs. If you are, then you're playing the comp wrong. So, yeah. Like, don't just stand the shield in the open. Make sure you know where to go when your shield breaks. And make sure it's somewhere that's close to you so you don't die going there. Pretty good. Well, Hurray's now back. So, Vancouver Titans is forced to use ultimates, they're forced to use cooldowns, and they're just using them for waiting for Hurray to come back. On ladder's hard, yeah, exactly, which is on ladder, you use your cooldowns to save yourself. You fortify their pulls, you pull off cooldown, you rely on the enemy team not being good enough to coordinate as well, and you just keep pulling all the time and hoping that something sticks. And then just make sure you aren't walking too far forward with your shield, and make sure you aren't just standing still with your shield.
He's a long way away from his, so you will have to wait. Although, in all fairness, it's already been about 90 seconds into the round with no progress.
How about I think if
oh man,
big biotic grenade. If you're the Justice, though, I think you maybe get this Maywall back up to this little high ground perch, or they're gonna
Nice wall walling off the tanks and allowing them to set up a new shield.
use it to wrap around. So they want to close the gap and then Blizzard here. Giannis put to sleep though.
That's playing the corner. He's gonna reposition himself here. Nice hook.
That's not even a pull hook, that's just a normal hook because of a mispositioning from Sansam. But they engage with the May ult. It's everyone.
It's a Venn diagram of frostiness. Both Blizzards go down, and it will be the Titans to come out on top.
That's Twilight though. I mean the Transcendence is good there from Guido. It's just a biotic grenade that connects with Giannis.
Okay. This is Anna. Anna has insane value here, and they're winning so much because of Anna. Guido uses trans. Nice. We're all frozen with trans. They can't kill us. Oh, never mind. Anna nade. Anna Bap is really, really, really good because they synergize really well together, especially when the enemy team is playing Hog. Apple breaks shield, free anti-nade. You freeze them all in the trance, anti-nade. Anyone the enemy team is flanking, bam, sleep. Anna is really, really good with Bap because it allows her to focus on her utility rather than her healing.
They lose the main tank, then everybody else starts falling as the Blizzard came down from both teams there.
I think the pressure, we do have this conversation about whether the pressure has been moved off of Giannis and Sansam now with DPS being more important. I think Giannis still has the pressure on it, right? You still have to play that Orisa.
Well, I don't know if it's more of like pressure or where I feel like tanks and goats in 3-3 were the more impactful of the heroes on the game. Where I feel like now, it kind of evens out across the 6 players, right? Where damage dealers can have a really big impact.
Also, Washington Justice, something they're doing well, they're not doing the same thing over and over. First fight, we go that side. Second fight, we go that side. Third fight, we go up here. They're always changing out their routes so they're hard to position against. Which is a difference from many teams who just does the same thing every time.
Right? When you have a player like Corey, you can play a high impactful hero like Widowmaker, you can really have a great impact. But and lead the team that wins, clearly. But he's not going to play the Widowmaker here, playing the Hanzo, going to have the Dragon strike for this next fight, split some players off.
The Justice have spent a lot of time on this. This has to be.
This is a lot of damage. Okay, let's do some math. I'm just using Orisa as an example. Orisa does 11 damage per shot. You add 50%, which is either going to be, like there's no like commas, it's going to be 11 plus 6 or 5. We're going to use 5 because that's the lower number, so it's always going to be plus 5 at least. Means 16 damage per bullet. Okay, and then Babfield. Then you add 16 to 16, you times that with 2. Right? And you end up with 32 damage per shot. If Orisa headshots you, she now does 64 damage. The Orisa alone does 64 damage per headshot. Or 32 damage per shot. How many shots per second is Orisa? Okay, so 12 rounds per second. Damage of 11. Okay. So 32 times 12 is 384. That is Orisa. Like, I just want you to understand how much damage this combo actually is. It's absolutely insane. Orisa does 384 DPS. Hog does even more. Hanzo does even more. And the Bab is doing a fair bit as well. But like, that is insane damage. Let's watch it one more time and see how quickly everything just gets destroyed.
Next fight, split some players up.
The Justice have spent a lot of time on this. This has to be a good push. Okay!
They be gone. They are gone. They are not in existence anymore. And this is why you need to position close to corners as Orisa, because if this happens, you're insta-dead if you aren't next to a corner. Whenever you hear the bat bolt, you just hide. If you're Mercy on Bunker, who should you damage boost to break shield? Hanzo. Hanzo every time. Hanzo. There's very specific situations where you would damage with Hog instead, but Hanzo, whenever he has Storm Arrow, you should damage boost, and whenever he doesn't, you damage boost Hog. So if you're in a team, you can get your Hanzo to call I'm Storm Arrowing shields, or you can just start doing it in the beginning of the fight, and he's gonna Storm Arrow at the beginning of every fight. And then other than that, you can damage boost the Hog with Orisa. But yeah, damage boosting Hanzo is never wrong. And during the Stormbro, it's always the best.
Matrix was well played. Slide didn't last much longer either. It started some opening up with the hook. Oh my.
Yeah, and the damage doesn't affect the Dragon Strike, but the Supercharger and Matrix, that'll combine as they shoot the regular projectiles through the...
Okay, so they won the point by Bumper being in a bad position, then popping 2 ultimates. I have no idea why Corey was ulting. Maybe he's switching. I do not know. Yeah. That was a mispositioning from Bumper who cost him the point. Because he had nowhere to go when the shield broke and he just died. Because the shield broke so quick.
So that is a nasty combination. Yeah, you know, if I'm throwing Mercy...
Like, the negative thing about using that ult combo, and there's no Maywall from Haxel either to deny it, because he Maywalled himself to the high ground, remember? So there's no Maywall from Haxel because he used it to get the high ground. There is no good positioning from Bumper because he's standing in the middle of the open. Neither of them are there to save the situation, and therefore they lose point, because both Haxel and Bumper are doing something wrong. Haxel is overusing his wall, because the wall can deny almost anything. So if they're able to back off, then Washington Justice is forced to go to point. And when they're forced to go to point, the backfield and the result does nothing anymore because they are based on being in a certain spot. They are placed down and they can't be moved. So you just need to force them to move away from the ultimates and they suddenly have no value. They aren't doing that because of Haxel and Bumper making the mistake of positioning and ability and cooldown usage.
We're assuming at home you're going to go for the less optimal.
Well, yeah, I'm also assuming at home you don't have like 5 DPS players.
Don't assume that.
I also think that playing the like Widow gets no value in the second point. I would like to see Horeg switch over to Pharah, and then Twilight play Mercy or Slime play Mercy. Either one of them playing Mercy is fine. Mercy Anna's good and Mercy Bap is good. And they would just play either up here or right above here, and they would be completely safe. Pharah's really, really good if you play it with Mei, or you can swap the Mei to a Hanzo as well, but you don't want to do that because you're playing, you have Blizzard. But I would like to see a comment. I think Pharah is super underplayed, but especially on 2CP. Like, Paris, she's absolutely insane. I think she's okay in Anubis. I think maybe there's other picks that's better there. Like, Junk is really good on second. I think here, Pharah's really good. I think these teams are overplaying Widow a lot, because Widow is not getting value in the bunker matchup. Because you're not doing off angles, you're not doing crossfires anymore. Doing those things has lost so much value because of pull hooks.
That's not right now, is that a safe assumption? Hurek finds Guido on that high ground.
I guess Guido missed positions.
Window with that shield was down and Hurek was sat right up the back top right corner.
Yeah, they have to back out anyway. I mean, this is a point of the game for the Justice where they just need to like kind of poke, force some ultimates out. It was not realistic.
Like, here's all over mistakes from Washington. These are the things Washington Justice does really poorly this series, and I saw that in the last two maps I watched in the series as well. They keep taking damage between fights. They keep allowing the Widow to get picks. They're too obsessed with always doing something. A lot of the time, the best thing you can do is doing nothing. Because whenever you're doing something, you're open to getting picked. So a lot of the times, you just need to do nothing. That's the best thing you can do.
A push that would have resulted in a win of the map, most likely, unless the Titans like beefed all their ultimates. But now when you get Guido back, I think you have an opportunity here for the Justice to make a push.
What I really like about the way Horik is playing is that he doesn't take duels that are 50-50. He only takes duels he's supposed to win. That Hanzo duel, the instant Core replaces the Sonic, yeah, I'm out of here, I'm gonna play with my team. He doesn't take unfavorable matchups, ever.
Force some ultimates out of the Titans, then come back with a chuck full of ultimates themselves.
The Justice feels so careful, man. Their setups, they're really waiting not on ultimates, but on key cooldowns to be up like this Maywall. They're going to cross now, using this as a bridge. I like this. Getting into a position
nice rotation.
Favored by the defenders and hard to access as an attacking team. But this causeway still is a bit risky for them. They still need the Orisa barrier, and Ureg is on the hunt. Bumper just gets...
That's the second time in a row. Axel uses wall. It does nothing. Bumper standing in a bad position. They just place the Baptiste ult and insta-kill Bumper because he's in a bad position and there's no wall to deny it. Exactly the same way they lost first point.
Eliminated again. That'll be one tick here. Corey picks up another.
Also, I think this is really funny. Whenever you see this icon between two heroes, this guy did not intend to kill anyone with that arrow. This was a completely unintentional kills where he was looking to get information, and he's like, yeah, I guess I'll take that. But whenever you see a kill by Sonic, it's not intentional, it's just random spam arrow around the corner.
I mean, Ureg tries to go for a safe, sneaky angle map, but he gets nothing done. Absolutely nothing. Ureg, only 3 eliminations, final blow, should I say, on this map for him so far, and the Justice now have a big opening. Bumper drops in. He had to have known he was jumping into the belly of the beast with that pile driver. Janu taken down by Sunsum's whole hog. And the Washington Justice, look, they approach this carefully, they approach it slowly. Stratos will be frozen there. Giannis probably will outlast it. Yeah, Fortify keeps unfrozen. Ureg's here on the Reaper now. You know, ice wall in his way. Try and skip around it. Turns around again.
Also, I feel every single fight on this point turns into the same. It's super attack favored because of how short the point is, unless the defenders are playing Hanzo. The instant you play Hanzo, you just win this point, because shorter sightlines and shorter areas to move through gives less opportunities for other heroes to do things. And Hanzo is just too good in bunker.
Comes back. No kills yet from the Titans on this defense though, Matt. And that's the issue. They can stall this out for as long as they please with 90 seconds left in the round, but they're not going to stop it. It seems inevitable now with another amplification matrix being thrown on down.
Let's just clean up now. Another thing Washington Justice does really well, they're just playing together, they're not trying to do something insane, they're not going and looking at off angles, they're not trying to split apart, they're just staying together and making sure they do not die.
Very quickly blown up by 4 players involved in that kill. Axel stepping up as well.
This is how you stop teams from 2CPing you, or just staggering out of spawn and then eventually just winning.
Nice, just maybe not for a stall. Ureg's back though, Wraithborn going to be used initially just to buy some extra time, and that'll be that. Justice, I'd be pleased with that. Go.
Wait, what? You just go, like, what? So what does he do different when he E's? Ah.
Yeah, you guys are on TV.
Wait, we're on TV?
Hurry.
Wait, really? Why? Wait, where are they, dude? Where are they at? Is this? I know. Wait.
This is peak comp. This is the best part of the match. That was the best part of the match, without a doubt.
Reminds you, they break
To boost that healing.
They're gonna run
Why are they playing Widowmaker? Widow is so overrated.
the on defense here.
Ureg hoping someone would get yoinked into that halt. It's been an easy pick off for him. And with
Like,
that,
you can just not peek Widow and she does nothing. On defense, you can just not peek her and she will never do anything.
that paved the way.
You're playing a comp that whenever she gets close, you pull hook her and then you win the fight.
Mark down, gonna sit back in the corner here. And
Haxel misses the wall again. If Sansum doesn't miss that hook onto Janu, that's really bad.
the sky goes Bumper. Usually he's Reinhardt, same thing really.
That's super risky from Corey.
I mean, this is a great position for
I don't like that. He goes for a flag, which allows the Widow to get value. If he gets a pick there, nice. If he doesn't and he dies, okay, we lost the point. There's no reason to do that. They can just win the point by killing the shield.
He's a little bit wary of Hureg's position now because he knows that in a pitched battle it's a little bit hard for him to win out because how our hit scan works.
Like,
Projectile.
his whole team is useless because he's flanking. When he's flanking, the shield doesn't go down, the whole team is useless, and they are going to die. But they should. Because now Twilight is the one playing the Sense. If your Hans is not playing with the team, Sense is going to break the shield quicker, you get no value from playing the Ana, and you are just putting yourself at risk of dying to Widow for no reason.
And that was, I believe, off a Holt, so Haxal's able to get that finish kill, and I don't really think you want to take Corey on like that, Haxal. It was a little bit low, he's forced to ice block, but he at least...
They should lose this fight, but let's see if they can come back.
Keep the Hanzo in his sight, so if this happens...
Lime ults.
Cheeky. Corey gonna fire that one off through the point there, but no one's really gonna be...
Haxal only walls for himself, and it's so annoying.
By it. Haxal in a great position to jump in and get a freeze. Yes, there's an immortality field up, but still freezing people and getting them low on health is good. However, that immortality field from Slime staves them off.
And because they don't have Sansum in the fight, they decide to nano boost Stratus. So they send Stratus onto the point with the nano boost on Mei. They only give up a tick here to the Titans.
So, the reason Vancouver Titans almost wins this is Corey's on an off angle, he's not shooting shield, his whole team is useless, the Sen is breaking shield quicker. The reason they win that fight is because Haxal plays completely solo, goes on an off angle, doesn't do anything for the team, provides no value whatsoever, and they're able to just kill them with the Mei ult. So, here is an example of both teams having one player not doing what they're supposed to do, and both of them almost throwing, and then Corey pops off at the end.
Good first point defense when you're already a player down here for the Justice, and Hureg's going to switch off of Widowmaker, and he'll play Hanzo now. So
It's time. It is the Salty Bren run back.
but you know, they haven't been, like, the Justice have not been baited into taking this Widow on Widow battle, which you feel much better about going against the Titans when you don't see Hureg playing that Widowmaker. Because that's really how they've done a lot of the good things they've done in this stage, is with, like, Widowmaker and Genji, and
Right.
they don't have those heroes.
Like, if you're Curry, like, I'm not saying you're lost in the source, but you have to know that you have, like, sick Widow stats that you could probably win in the head-to-head, right?
I wasn't watching. Let's go back and see. I need to see what happened. Reading a DM.
It's time. It is the Salty Bren run back.
But you know, they haven't been, like, the Justice have not been baited into taking this Widow on Widow battle, which you feel much better about going against the Titans when you don't see Hureg playing that Widowmaker. Because that's really how they've done a lot of the good things they've done in this stage, is with, like, Widowmaker and Genji, and
Right.
they don't have those heroes.
Like, if you're Curry, like, I'm not saying you're lost in the source, but you have to know that you have, like, sick Widow stats that you could probably win in the head.
So both teams bongo. The wall is the try. That's almost a really good wall. If that is slightly closer to the choke, it's a really good wall. But the idea of that wall is to stop Janna from having an easy way out.
Head, right? Still doesn't go for it.
Oh, they hit the sleep on the, that's an absolutely mad. But this is something we talked about as well. That if the enemy team has a Mei and you're not supposed to get value from pull hooks, look for pull sleeps. The wall is going to go down and it's a free hook if they don't have a shield. It's super easy.
Mortality field just too far around the corner. Push back a little bit
That fight is won purely off a sleep.
further. It might have been protected.
I think for the Justice, it's do we have a better chance with the consistent damage of Corey and playing a little bit of a slower game with him playing the Hanzo, or do we feel better about him just selecting Widowmaker, killing a good counter sniper in Hureg, and then just popping off after that? I think you kind of take this option.
Corey is also enhanced now, so you can actually win the map if they played right.
Titans are gonna dominate in this meta map. Is it too early still?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's really early in terms of just anyone dominating in the meta.
It's a low value Mei wall from Stratus. Probably could have gotten value from it, but.
And really kind of figuring out what's going on is
Oh, I don't like the Stormbow from Corey.
Dragon strike.
Good dragon.
Gonna see that coming. He has enough time. Oh,
Transcendence. Oh, they
Forcing Trance is really big because they're coming up in a Mei ult, so there's no counter for that. Even though the Mei ult would probably just get needed. But yeah. So where's Stratus playing with the team?
back on up.
it's so clever.
So I do not like. I don't like Janna's positioning because if this happens and there is no wall, he is dead. But if it like he's able to rotate like that, then it's fine. Or rotate like this, and it's fine. But the Maywall needs to be there now.
Really, they're in a
And the Maywall is there. Imagine if Titans did this. They would have full held Justice with no problem whatsoever.
small corridor. They can't really jump out if they do
That's
that.
going to be the Ant Matrix as well from the Titans.
Wall is destroyed, but who's there to shoot? Okay, well, Giannis is there
Okay.
on the point.
He still destroys the shield, it's enough to kill them.
There. It's tough. Where did the Justice go when the opponent's up there? You have to leave the point completely.
Yeah, and I think you have to really do a nice job of like rotating your May wall and your Arisa shield. You can kind of use both of those. Maybe like wall, shield, then wall, and then get back onto the point and outlast the Ant Matrix, but they're not able to put together that combo. They end up losing point.
I should stop letting my mouse twitch so you
Still have
get to
enough
see the Mario.
here on point B to get a defensive stand. They have a nano boost and whole hog.
Yeah.
Blizzard as well if they need.
Yeah, it's going to go against the Blizzard Dragon Strike. That's not good. Giannis down early. Full Immortality Field could be deployed, and that's just where it gets a little bit dangerous.
Okay, both these mail. Stratus is probably going to get more value from this mail because he ults second, so it ends the last.
Blizzard thrown up on the point there. And yeah, Sun frozen solid right now, but nice job. Okay, the defensive Blizzard comes out.
Nice Immortality Field.
Two are so clever. Man, these DPSs on the Justice, man.
Hurek and Haxall are getting outplayed right now by Corey and Stratus.
Yep.
I mean, Corey's got the 12 final.
Now, you can say whatever you want, but Haxel is not playing Mei. He is playing Genji on Mei. He is sitting on the flank. He's not achieving anything. He's Maywalling for himself. He's not denying pull hooks. They're not going for pull sleeps because they're playing Sen. They're not playing for shield break because Horik is taking off angles. At least they find, like... This is the same as the first map. They use the first half doing nothing. Then they use the first half of the second half to switch to a good hero. And now Horik is finally playing a good hero. And Haxel is not doing his job.
And also, I think
Bumper's also mispositioning himself. Like right there, that's a good example. Ugh, let's go back and watch that again. Because that's a good example of something we just talked about. But I managed to fuck up my chat. Okay, I got chat again. Sorry, chat. Slightly back. Look at this rotation right here. Why would you not press shift? Why would you not use your fortify going around the corner against an Ana, against a Hanzo, against a Mei? There's no fall of damage. It doesn't matter if you're 1,000 meters away or 10 meters away. They will deal a lot of damage to you walking around that corner. They're not close enough to pull hook you. There's no reason for you not to use your shift. This is just greedy from Bumper not using it.
And also, I think nice shots everywhere. I also think Arc becomes.
You could also have Mei walled. Like, your Mei could have pre-peeked that, Mei walled in front of it, without even peeking the enemy, just Mei walling at the truck, and then walking off for free.
More valuable of a piece
Like,
of-
Vancouver Titans is not playing their comp.
like,
They are pretending they're goats. They're pretending their heroes can only do things once the fight starts.
do you see more mercy?
Justice uses their utility so much better. They're much better playing around the wall. Corey still takes really stupid off angles and almost throws at times, but he also pops off when he needs to.
Come to play. Do you see now pick up
Hurek does not.
Right, Lucio is still always good, and I think he just provides a lot of veteran leadership to this team.
He was
You have
definitely-
these three players.
Definitely more known for the Mercy. Oh, Corey! Just
Like this.
Corey
What is
back.
Janu achieving by being on this off angle? Absolutely nothing.
People up the Titans.
What is he doing?
He's just mapping them.
Alright, so the Sonic Arrow there. Probably going to be doing... Okay, he's seen the Zenyatta up there.
These few pickoffs from Corey have taken almost like a minute off the
Yes.
clock.
That's all it takes. And the Titans have to go...
And Corey gets all the credit for these good pickups. Picks, I mean. But all these picks could have been denied by one button press by Haxel or Bumper. Both of them could have denied everything that he's done. But they aren't.
They have to walk back and wait for that support as well.
But even look how cautious they have to be. Like the halts come in, they have to use Maywall early. A big biotic grenade there from deep.
Like, why are they not Maywalling their rotations? I do not understand. Haxel, please.
Hurek is
Next
one.
5 players, they have to use the immortality field so early on.
They have no field now. What a great vantage
So
point.
what do you do? Do you wait for this cooldown to come up? This allows the Justice, they're going to have all 6 ultimates.
May is doing an unspeakable amount of damage with headshots as well. Here's the amplification matrix thrown up. Corey's in a great spot to be.
They use the combo again, and now you can no longer peek. You can no longer walk forward. If you try to do that, you feed.
But now it has to be a Dragon Strike though, as he's going to be forced to move out of position. This in turn though prevents the Titans from getting max value out of their matrix as well. So it's not the end of the world.
And the Titans wanted to use their own
So that's 3 ultimates from both teams. That's in the defense favor, that the fight goes the way it does. Better positioning, initially, from Justice. They probably should have killed more than just one person from doing that. At least to get one pick. Yeah. Like, there's not that many options of what Vancouver could have done differently. It's just that defense is favored as long as both teams play Hanzo, but if only one team plays Hanzo, the attackers is favored. Because Widow is really bad on defense here, and it gives you a different win condition if you're playing an attack. But when both teams play Hanzo, the defense has such good position because of these small dents here, and also having 2 sides they can walk to at all times. But for the attackers, they would need to position all the way over here, so you would go high ground, you would either roll yourself across and go behind, like the Washington did, or you would go on top, and you would drop down here and place your first shield. They do the backfield and the Rissa ult to rotate into the side. It's up to you how you want to play it, but you can't just walk in main and expect something to happen when you press Q. You need to set up in a way so you have somewhere reliable to walk to. This is not reliable. This is reliable. This is reliable. This is reliable. But you can't just walk in main and expect to be fine, which is what they're doing. Then again, they're playing goats. They're rotating as if they're goats. They are acting between fights as if they're playing goats. They need to realize that this comp is different, and there is pick potential in the game again.
and push up, still have the effects of the supercharger and push them back into the corner, but they're not able to do so because Corey's Dragon Strike pushes them back.
We're watching the future of the league here on defense
And
right now.
Guido now set up on the high.
Like, it's not even that Justice is playing amazingly. It's just Vancouver Titans is playing absolute dog shit. Because Haxel and Bumper has no idea what they're doing in their heroes.
Like if Twilight goes to try and save everybody with
Like, you might as well just put him on you might as well just play Ryan Genji, and it probably would have gone better because you're at least comfortable on those heroes. But it's so visible that they're not comfortable playing these heroes at all.
the Transcendence for this Blizzard that's going to come down from Stratus. Look for Guido at the top of your screen to hit one of these biotic grenades. Hits another 3-player one here. He lands a big one during that Transcendence. This is a Justice map win.
Immortality had to be used there as well. I think Justice didn't go 2-0 into the half, man. I think you're right. Janu's hit with a Bionade as well. Can't take a breather and get that help.
At least the Mei wall is good-ish. Where, okay, so which one of the Hanses is flanking? Because I bet it's Hureg. Where is the Hansos? Okay, Hurig's in high ground. What is he doing? What is this? He jumps into the open when they Mei wall, instead of getting ready to break the shield. Where does he get shot from? Yeah, the Hans are just sitting right here with Anna. He's not playing the wall. Like, why is he so obsessed at shooting at the enemy DPS characters? Like, Corey, it's fine. There's nowhere he can get value because there's a Mei wall here. But why on earth would you not shoot through the Mei wall onto this shield and be in a position where you're 100% safe? 1, you're getting value, and 2, there's no way you get picked. Doing what he's doing now, he should always get picked. No, that's just a really bad mistake from Hureg that leads to that pick. That's not a good shot from Curry. It is a good shot, but right, you get my what I'm meaning.
Seconds left. Corey's in the house and on the ledge. He's looking for a couple more kills. The Dragon Strike in itself may be enough to secure things, as it will prevent the Titans from touching the point properly. Haxel going to try and take the 1v1 against Guido, but Jana steps in. He has the fortified shield, goes up, looks.
Okay, so this map is the same thing all the time. Whichever team flanks the hardest loses. Whichever team does not play Hanzo loses. Hureg is playing Hanzo as if it's Widow, and goes for picks. If you were going for picks, you might as well just play Widow, she does it better. But you want to play for tank pressure, you want to destroy shield, you want to use your Mei walls to rotate, you want to use your Mei walls when the walls go down. I mean, your shield goes down. And there's just nothing of that from either team, and it's very confusing. I guess, like, Justice does it a lot, but
good for the Titans at all.
Like, throughout this entire map, I've seen one wall from Haxel which was meant to force a rotation. And do you know what happened when it does that? Hurek jumps into the middle of the open and dies. An arrow. They're so out of sync, it's incredible.
It looks absolutely abominable.
Haxel can play a very interesting. We Widowmaker they waste. We call this composition.
Deal for those. Be current. So that's the answer.
Hureg on the win.
He's a crutch, maybe.
I wish I could have watched every L game like this and just skipped all the stuff in between.
Rushing with it.
Would have been way easier to follow the league.
Playing around it. So I think it's just figuring out the meta here for the Titans.
Troutman, I beat you to this one, fam. Map 2, baby. Yes, but yes, it was foretold. Corey.
Okay. Vancouver Titans is playing the Koth comp, while Washington Justice is playing the 2CP comp. The Vancouver Titans comp should be better on second and third, the Washington Justice comp should be better on first. However, the problem with the Vancouver Titans comp is that they need to get to the point to be efficient, which can be denied in this map specifically, therefore I like the Washington Justice comp more than I like the Vancouver Titans comp. It's just a matter of playing shield break here, and Washington just being better at killing tanks, and also having the May to stop aggression.
Great fight starter. They always manage to follow up on those first kills from him.
They somehow hit that pull hook. Haxel, you missed the wall again. Like, you have D.Va to eat the pull, and you have May to wall the hook. How can neither of them hit?
He gets brought on in with a halt.
And get Sonic.
Now you have the Justice who are able to get the high on Stratus with a
I guess bumper feeds.
Josh is talking.
Like, I do not like the Corey positioning, but it works because Vancouver Titans is not playing their comp. They are playing goats. No, Corey should just be playing with his tank, playing safe, playing to not die, and just keep shooting the enemy tanks. But Vancouver Titans does nothing, so it's fine.
During halftime, but you have seen
Like, Corey is so punishable for the way he plays.
close quarters to pick up a ton of kills. But like he's connected with like Haxel when he was playing Bara earlier on. Like he has really done a nice job with the icicles being able to land from long range. And that's such a huge part of May's kit that we don't really talk about because there's no fall off damage with that, right? She's able to pump out the damage like she was standing next to you from far away.
Please win this fight, Titan, so Corey like gets punished because he lost his fight for them if they lose it.
Losing Gitter here is less than ideal. With the air matrix up though now, Corey should feel pretty safe. Happy birthday, bro. Not your birthday.
I would be so happy if Justice loses this fight, but I don't remember.
Janu comes in, Blizzard thrown out now. Giannis. Remember, shield doesn't block Blizzard. It's a dome. It's not necessarily line of sight related.
We still have Corey up on the high ground though. Johnny gets D-Max. You have Bumper switch over to Wrecking Ball. He didn't get it back. Corey will take out Salime.
What a freak. Okay.
That's weak as well. He has to wall and run. He don't want none.
Hurek comes back, he saves it.
This is such a weird fight.
Yeah, devolve.
Okay, so let's take this fight one time by one time. First, Haxel feeds, so Janu dies, because I would count the May feeding, because it's the main reason that Janu dies. Then after that, Bumper feeds. And then Corey feeds. And then Washington Justice lost their only carry, so they lose. Corey needs a position to play safe, because he is doing really well in the beginning of the fight, shooting shield, using Stormbow correctly. And then once they get the first pick, he's just, alright guys, I'm just gonna strap on the carry pants, I'm gonna put you all in my backpack, and we're gonna leave. But you can't do that. You just get picked off, and then they lose the fight, and the fight snowballs because he dies. No, it's really sad, because once he's dead, there's no one less than the team that does anything.
When they're feeling themselves, they're feeling it.
Wow, that's crazy.
Okay, you got me. You got me, Troutman. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Never have
You
the
read,
bit
you
of
read
this situation.
a stat from Ben's little journal over here. You start throwing some shots. Ben hits you with a haymaker, dude. Bro, to the back.
They're written there so casters read them. It's not my fault.
What is this wall? What are you trying to achieve? The only thing you achieve is that you make Bumpers die worse. You do nothing with this. You are no longer playing Orisa because Bumper came back on ball. He's just gonna go in and feed. Because that's what Ball does into this comp. Because he's gonna get pulled by Janus, and then hooked by Sandstorm, and then frozen by Stratus. Corey's just gonna shoot shield. Wait, there is no shield, so he can just kill the Hammond. So, this wall does nothing.
The only caster that reads the brief.
Hey Ben, I'm on your team, dog.
Axel is playing middle of the open.
Axel down there to
Good positioning from Corey here.
You're not going to last very long. Now, Buffer's out of the fight for a brief moment here. Yeah, and they lost Janu in the process. Buffer actually gets a sound berry though, so he gets in close enough to receive it. Janu down though, Stratus lines him up.
I do not think the Hog Elf was needed. I don't think the Bongo was needed. I do not think the Mail was needed. I think this is a insane overcommitment from the Washington Justice.
Keeps Buffer in place as well.
At least lose like 3 fights in a row now because you're down an ult advantage.
I mean, they're looking great.
What is the answer for the Titans? Like, they have not come up with any.
I'm also not sure where they're playing Sen. I would just play Anna.
Not looking as good as the Justice.
It works better with the Hog.
Especially when you have Janu playing Diva. Like, if he's not able to eat some of these halts, where we've seen him get halted and hooked himself a few times, you gotta switch to Roadhog potentially. Like, you gotta make some changes.
I don't like. I think core positioning is fine because of what Vancouver's playing.
That'll be the Justice who take the point. It'll be a Blizzard that kicks things off here from Hacksaw.
Very aggressive Blizzard. But
Please lose this fight. Yeah, good. They lose this fight because you don't. Mac, what's your thought on Vancouver going ham? And oh wait, it was a stall. Never mind. Yeah, no, I think Vancouver Titans is absolutely feeding this series. Washington Justice is not playing well. I think Vancouver Titans just has no idea what they're doing. That is my conclusion so far. Okay, Washington Justice wastes Mail last fight. They waste Bongo's last fight. They waste Hoggle last fight. They probably wasted the backfield as well. If they only used the Mail, that would have been fine, and they just saved the other ones. But they waste all their ultimates, and then Vancouver Titans goes in, and they use 2 ultimates, and they win this fight. Or he uses Dragon for no reason, so it's a fine trade, because it's 2 for 1.
was great. Multiple
It's so frustrating. This ult economy, like, it's like they don't even think about it. It's like they just press Q on cooldown. Nice pick.
You have an opportunity for the Titans to win a few fights, though.
So now Titans just has to hold really, really close. Like, Washington needs to build a Mail so they can get space again, or they need to build the backfield. Why is Titans playing this far back? They're not playing Hanzo. They're just giving Corey a free sightline to do whatever he wants to. And you have no way of punishing it. Because your win condition is playing close, but you're giving the long sightline through the doorway. Instead of holding all the way up here. So whenever their tanks will close to the payload, bam, wall, boom, go. And you just speed boost your Diva and you speed boost your Reaper into the enemy tanks. Can't do that. This is silly.
I mean, those people for the Titans, they get so much for such a very simple ultimate there. Blizzard gets a lot of value.
It's a good wall.
Oh dear, Slime went a little bit too far. He was trying to...
Like, look at how much value Stratus gets with the wall. It's the only value he gets. His May ults aren't good. He is not hitting a lot of shots. No, Reaper should not be on high ground. He should be in the enemy team's face. He's not hitting a lot of shots. He's not freezing a lot of people. But his walls are really... It's a lot better than Haxel. They're not great, but they are good and consistent. And he blocks the Diva Bomb there, which is really good. He's blocked every single pull hook when the Titans were playing Hog. He has been using it every single time the Janus shield goes down. And he's not using it for himself at all. He's the complete opposite of Haxel, who only uses it for himself.
set up the bomb for Johnny. He would have gone forward, but the wall put up actually blocked him from getting back to his team once the blast was...
I know, this is an amazing wall. It's so good. Because it stops the entire team from Vancouver Titans from backing off, being efficient. Even though Sansom dies because he's frozen, which would have happened anyway, now they get another 2 picks for free. And this battle is also a waste because Arc likes to press Q. We have seen that so many times this series.
Oh dear, amplification matrix thrown in now, Hureg.
They killed him without using the amp matrix. You can see that by there being no Baptiste behind here. Baptiste field did nothing except helping them kill Haxel a little bit quicker. That's the only thing it did. It's not a big value at all. It's a tiny value. He should play Hog because look, if the enemy Mei sucks, just play Hog because Hog is free. This guy cannot wall, which means that this guy is free. You shouldn't play Diva because Hog is good because the enemy Mei is bad. Like in scrims and stuff, I agree you shouldn't play around the enemy being bad. But in a match, you play around the enemy team being bad. He's already got way too many pull hooks off. Oh, painful. Oh, it's painful.
Well, Janu, I was going to say Janu and Twilight, both obviously in that top 5, and well deserved with what they've done through stages 1 through 3. But stage 4, it's very interesting because Janu now is forced to play some Roadhog, which we haven't really seen that much in this series, and kind of getting punished for sticking on the Diva. And then Twilight.
Okay, question. This is a really important question. I might end the stream a little bit early to go get Chinese food. But I'm not sure yet, but I might. Just so you are aware. I'll still run until like at least 9, maybe 10. I really badly want spring rolls. Okay, that was it.
This force over from like Zen to like Moira or Ana. We've seen a few nice things on Ana in the past, but with Moira, very difficult to have.
Corey gets no value with this dragon again. It's a pretty okay ult from Shadows.
As big of an impact as a Zen. This will be a Blizzard trying to coalesce with Johnny.
That's an amazing wall. Like, look at all the value he's getting. He's forcing the entirety of Titans to rotate around. Haxel has no value now. Yeah, but I buy them from a Chinese place because we don't have a Vietnamese place. Like, no one in Titans has value now. These walls, they're so easy. And they're so good. Instead of trying to do fancy stuff that Haxel is doing, just do whatever Stardust is doing. It's so much easier. What are you doing on the flank, Corey? You could just be with your team and there's no way you die. Like, this is fine, because Titan's comp is really bad right here and now. Like, once this comp gets advantage, it always beats this comp. But, like, when it doesn't have advantage, this comp can just run into it. But there's no Diva, so they just die. Wait, he was on the flank. It wasn't Corey after all.
Kind of getting punished for sticking on. Kind of getting punished. Very interesting. Very interesting. Kind of getting very difficult to have. Like,
he was on the flank. Did I see wrong? No, it's a Roadhog. No, this is a Baptiste. It's a Baptiste on the flank. Why is there a Baptiste on the flank? What are you doing, Ark? Okay. That's the first good wall from Haxel this map. Good job, clap clap.
He's got 13 final blows ready. He has 13 final blows ready in this map. That's crazy. And
next closest person on his team is 5.
And the last map, he out final blowed the whole Titans team, or he was like 1 short, and he's doing it here now again.
He has 13 final blows. The Titans as a team have 14.
Okay, going into this fight, Vancouver Titans gonna look to set up the May wall, May ult in some way, but they need to force the pull. Yeah, it's 100% Titans being absolute Pepega. The entirety of this series so far is just absolute Pepega Haxel on Bumper. Like, I would rather have Bumper on Hanzo than Orisa, I've decided after watching this. His Hanzo is literally twice as good as Orisa. And Haxel should just play Genji, because he's playing Genji right now, just as he's on May. He's using his walls as a deflect, and he is trying to dash, and then he suddenly realizes, I can't dash, so he just stands still. And then he goes for flanks, trying to build his ultimate all the time. Ureg is playing Widowmaker on Hanzo. Jano is doing nothing, because he's not on Zarya or Diva. They're playing Moira because they have no idea what they should do. Yeah, I just think they have no idea what's going on. What is Bumper that is doing that is correct? He picked the incorrect. He is not shifting whenever he's rotating. He is not putting up shield where he should, so he has nowhere to back off to. The shield is destroyed, he instantly dies. He never pulls above shield properly. He does not play around the enemy having a Mei. He wastes his shift off cooldown whenever the team has Mei ult. It's like he doesn't trust his team. He doesn't play aggressive shields whenever they have advantage. He is just sitting there doing nothing. And when his shield is destroyed, he sits there and, I guess I'll die. Like, it's just nothing good. Janus is not doing anything wrong, and therefore it's good. That's the thing with Orisa. You don't need to do anything amazing on Orisa. You need to just not fuck up. That's the entire character. That is why the character is so broken. Yeah, no, that's why people call this the Goats comp. When they play Reaper instead of Hanzo, so they play Reaper instead. But they call that the Goats comp because it's kind of very hard to deal with and it runs into your face. This comp is much better, and I think Mei Hanzo is probably the best DPS duo on most maps right now. I think it can be argued that like Pharah Hanzo is better on some maps, Pharah Mei is better on some maps. But I think this comp right here, and you just replace this for an Ana or Mercy, is way better. And once you do that, I think the meta will just turn into that, and they will just be a pure shield spam war, and every single Hanzo that flanked will get punished. And every team that flanks a lot will just not be able to win matches because their tanks doesn't die. The enemy tanks doesn't die ever. So, like, Corey almost throws so many fights. The first fight on this map, Corey just throws it. There's some fights on Volskaya where he just goes for a flank, almost throws the fight, but it's fine because Haxel doesn't do anything. No, Widow never replaces Hanzo because Widow doesn't do anything. Because she doesn't break shield quickly enough. And you cannot really play Widow Hanzo because then the Mei just waltz off the Widow and then you just kill the shield. Mei is just too good. Widow doesn't replace Hanzo unless you can go for absolute mad off angles. She's an absolute insane gamer. Like, unless you have really good gamer gloves and an amazing gaming chair, you cannot play Widow anymore. Hanzo and Mei just beats it. I still think this comp right here is super dominant on with Reaper, of course, instead of this. It's super dominant on Koth, and that's why I call it the Koth comp. But this comp is, I would have Ana instead of Sen, or I would have a Mercy instead of Sen. Like, it's I don't understand why you would play Sen. Okay, I just don't understand. But okay, let's continue.
You know what though? I mean, this is
I get very heated talking about this because I'm extremely frustrated.
like as much as we kind of talk about like how like this is a breakout game maybe for the Justice and the Titans maybe not getting a grab
That's like the first bad Stratus Maywall this map.
in the meta. This is one of the better
Like, look at he's on the flank. His team gets May ulted.
over the first 2 seasons of actually here.
Where's the so the mortality field is right behind here. That's good placement.
Corey today.
Hanzo Sickle in the corner. Corey's kept alive by the
They just stopped the entirety of the May ult with the backfield.
mortality field though, and Sansa might be able to clear the
And
wall,
they're so focused on killing the May ult, they ignore that Stratus is on the flank, so he doesn't die. They could have just walked over and killed Stratus, or they could have hard committed to killing the mortality field, but instead they're so busy dealing damage to things in the May ult that they just kill nothing. Janus dies to Janu, and Sansom kills Bumper.
whole hog. Axel takes 5. Hog
Axel Maywalls for himself. Again.
doesn't want to fight Corey.
Imagine if he Maywalled for Janus instead, so he wouldn't, I mean for Bumper, so Bumper wouldn't be dead. That would have been insane.
Stratus could be in trouble though, he is forced to do the same.
So both Stratus and Haxel throws this fight.
That hook does not connect here for Janu, so an opportunity for Sansa to find a better one. He doesn't. Needs to level up his fishing.
Needs to level up his fishing.
Ultimates for the Titans.
Like, what are you doing, Stratus? This is exactly the reason why Haxel is a bad mate, because he does stuff like this. Stratus, I believed in you until you did this.
Stratus with a blizzard could put this one at
And then Corey's playing too close, he gets pull hooked, they're not playing around shield break. This Maywall has no objective whatsoever from Haxel. You would use this if your shield was going down. This shield is almost full HP. It was just placed. You got a pull hook, you have advantage. They do not have Hanzo, they can no longer break your shield. Why are you placing this wall here?
away, but yeah, Corey getting hit with a halt and then the hook. So Johnny finally switches the Roadhog here.
Oh my god.
Listen, this is crazy to me. Bumper entered.
This is so... And now they hard push. They play goats again. They use speed boost. Titans, what are you doing? I don't understand. They're playing a hybrid comp now. They're playing combination of the 2CP comp, and they're playing combination of the COT comp. They're playing Lucio Moira with Hanzo Mei. These two want to stand back and kill things slowly, and so does these two. Because you're not playing Div anymore, so... Okay, let's go. So, from the 2CP comp, this is the hero, this is the hero, this is the hero, this is the hero. From the Koth comp, they're playing this hero, and this hero. Which means there's just 3 from one and 2 from the other. They're playing a hybrid comp, which tries to do both of the things, which is speed boost into the enemy team. And they're also trying to do the Hanzo thing, which is killing the shield and killing the tanks. They just aren't committing to either, so this team wins, because they do both. When they try to do the Koth thing, they die. And when they do the 2CP thing, they will slowly get grinded out. So they just end up walking into the mail and feeding. What do you think is the best healer combo for Orisa, Hog, Hanzo, May comes? We're discussing it. I think that the optimal thing to play in the mirror, would be Baptiste Anna or Baptiste Mercy. I think if you're playing it against a dive comp, I would probably play Mercy Anna. If they're playing any sort of tank comp, I would play Baptiste Anna. If you're playing against a hybrid comp like this one, I would probably play Baptiste Anna. Maybe Mercy Anna. I really like Mercy in the hybrid comps because it just improves your shield break so much. Like Mercy Bap has insane shield break because you just damage boost the Stormbow, and then you have the field, and you have the bongo. You're 3 ways of breaking shield now, which is super quick and consistent to always win shield war if the enemy team is not playing Mercy. And you also have the rest if someone gets picked. I think Mercy is super underplayed. I think Pharah's underplayed. I think Junkrat's underplayed. Actually, Bap Mercy. Does Mercy just focus on damage Bap? Damage boost Bap. Why would you damage boost Bap? You would damage boost Hanzo and Hog. Damage boost Hog on the hooks and damage boost Hanzo on the Stormbow. And then whichever one you can between those two things.
What was that? Okay, so he enters
Haxel made one for himself again to get out.
the fight. He comes around the corner and he fortifies before the blizzard even comes out. So then he doesn't have the fortify to just walk away.
Oh, that's actually a really good wall.
And that's kind of what Sideshow's talking about with the cooldowns from the
You need to
Vancouver
walk
Titans.
in, get slightly frozen, and then hit the fortify to
And
prevent
walk
it.
out, yeah.
So timed incorrectly, it could be an
Oh my god.
for bump and never
No.
quite did that, but here we are.
Like, it's so bad. They're just throwing. They want Titans win the fight, and then they're like, "Hey guys, let's give them the free fight win," and they just walk into the enemy team and die. They win that fight, and they're like, "Hey guys, you want a free win? Like, just come. We'll gift it to you. Just press Q," and they just walk in and feed. This is so stupid. How could Titans go 22-1 when they can't play May correctly?
It is in fact the current
Ah.
Twilight down.
I think the Genji bunker. I think that this team is the only team who's played a good Genji bunker. That's the only thing they've played that's impressed me, because Haxel Genji is pretty good. And the reason it's good is because it has really good shield break. Why does it have good shield break? Because Genji walks in front of the Orisa shield and deflects. So all the damage that you would shoot, they'll double the amount of shield damage suddenly for a few seconds, because all the damage that would go into their shield is flipped around and goes back into that shield. That's the only reason it's good. And then you have a Blade. Blade is a pretty good ultimate. That's the only reason it's good.
Masters finish them out with a bit of time to spare.
Look phases. This way of putting it, I mean, they have not looked. As you look at how the meta's developed, at least through the first 2 weeks, it's like, well, has he players on the bench? Probably they're just first blooded by Corey over and over again and be down 2-0. It's not ideal.
Oh wait, they already started.
It's ground.
That's true. I mean,
There we go.
That's a good point. I mean, the justice to today, I think.
Why is Titans playing this comp? I do not understand. Yeah, that's the way you play it. Genji does nothing but stand behind shield, deflect your shield, and spam the enemy team, and then he goes in when he gets played. That's all you do. Genji shouldn't be flanking. He deals more. He farms his blade quicker by standing behind shield and spamming, and then using his deflect to break the enemy shield. That is the quickest way for you to farm blade. And the blade is the only reason to play Genji. So the way to play Genji bunker is to deflect in front of the shield, nuke enemy shield, and then kill them. Yes, that is basically how you play it. I don't think it's a good comp, but I think Vancouver should play it because they clearly cannot play May.
Clearly say that they are the better team through the first 2 games.
Like that shield. What value does a shield from Bumper get? Nothing. What about May walling up here, and they can just walk through the choke for free, or they can walk through here for free? Why are they not using May wall to rotate? Why are they using shield? Do you play Mercy Anna or Bap Anna with Genji bunker? I wouldn't play Genji bunker. The only reason to play Genji bunker is because you have an absolutely useless May player that has to play Genji. If that's the only thing he can play in this meta, then I will play Genji bunker. But if I absolutely had to, I would probably play Mercy Anna. No, I put Bap Anna. Bap Anna because shield break. Yeah, Bap Anna. I need to remove that from my PC. Please stop sending me things. No, I just wouldn't play Genji Punk. If I had to, I would play Batbana.
I would say though, if you're the Titans and you've kind of held your like standard to be the best and to destroy everybody, to
Okay, again, let's continue with our game. Is this Corey being good, or is this Hureg feeding? So far, Hureg has fed 5 times, and Corey has not done a good play yet. So, okay, well, let's put in the bets. Who thinks that Hureg feeds, and who thinks Corey carries? Write in chat now. I'll give you 10 seconds. The question is, does Hureg feed, or does Corey carry? He gets a headshot on him. We didn't see what happened. So, what do you guys think? It's currently 5 for feed and 0 for carry. Okay, we got 1 for each. I think Hureg feeds. Because statistically, that should be the case.
That's a good point. I mean, the Justice today, I think, can clearly say that they are the better team through the first 2 games. I would say though, if you're the Titans and you've kind of held your like standard to be the best and to
Hureg feeds. He walks in front of his tanks. Corey is not shooting at Hureg, he shoots at the Orisa behind him, who's going to place a shield to break the shield. Corey is not shooting at Hureg. Hureg feeds. Hureg just walks in and dies. He does nothing.
destroy everybody, to constantly get first blooded by.
So that's 6. So 6. I should add a counter somewhere. I'll actually add a counter for how many times the DPS from one team feeds next time for stream. Because this is ridiculous. That's 6-0.
Not ideal.
Corey got so much praise, and I also thought that Corey just hard carried this series, but no, he didn't. Hurrig and Haxel fed. The whole series, they fed. And Corey's just punishing it. He's just punishing mistakes. Which is, of course, he's playing good. But he's not carrying. It's Hurrig and Haxel throwing.
Bro, he's so lights out, he's almost armed. There's no electricity at all. No appliance.
I got it. I got it the first time. Yep.
I do not like the Corey Stormbow. We should save it for the shield. Is Washington holding up only the Reaper? Yeah, I assume that, like... Imagine that the enemy team is playing goats. And then you play the exact same way you would against goats against this comp. That's how you beat it. This is a short range, run at your face, roll over your team comp. So, whichever way you used to play against goats, you also play against this comp and you should win. This is a worse goats comp. That's all it is. It's a worse goats comp. Which is better on 2CP. I mean, better on Koth than goats right now. I think that if you want to play this kind of theory of a comp on any other map, I would probably I'd play like Sombra, Doomfist, Ryan, Zarya, or D.Va, probably D.Va, Lucio, Moira. But I see no reason to try this. Just play Handsome May right now, it's better. Except on Koth. On Koth, the Reaper May is absolutely insane.
Oh dear. Johnny gets to the back line. Why are you fighting Corey, by the way? Yeah, that was ill-advised. Now, Hurek's still an issue behind the dumpster here. Oh, yeah, he's not. Sorry. I know this isn't...
When should Storm Arrow and D.Va Missile be used for shield break, and when should it be used for pull or flank? It should be used for shield break when you have it, and it should be used for flanking never. Yes. Yes. Shoot tanks. Tanks are good. Destroying the enemy's shield increases your fight win rate by a lot.
Why not, dude? Just throw the Dragon Strike out. Who cares?
Corey gets 0 value from all his ultimates. He just throws them out to look cool. I'm 100% confident that he just... I will not get value for my dragon anyway. This is gonna look cool. And that's all he does.
You're gonna have another one quick.
You're right. He's
I am just really annoyed.
He's crushing, bro. Okay. 17 man lost 32% of the team damage. The next time, okay, so
He's
he's got
10k damage.
He's got almost, yeah, he's close to like 11k damage. The next highest on the Justice is Stratus at 6k.
And I laugh not because it's so much funny, it's just ridiculous.
It's just
how
fun
Corey-
watching somebody play this good.
Two walls up.
Caster, I know that the casters is paid to make players look good, but how can you not comment on Hurrig feeding for 3 maps in a row?
Corey. No without furniture. It's a house, but
Like, this just proves it. Corey gets no value from his ultimate. He just throws them out for no reason. No, D.Va should forehead through the shield in that comp. You should just run through the enemy shield and kill them. Or you would just stand on point and not do anything until they're close enough for you to forehead through their shield and kill them. D.Va does nothing until you forehead through their shield.
Storm Arrow comes out. No one really bothered by that one too much there. Hulk in coalescence from the low ground here to prevent that pick off. Upper still looking okay for now. Yeah, he needed that shield. The timing was pretty good on the cooldown. Corey not really bothered, and amplification matrix comes up. I feel like I've seen this one before. So is Bumper. The inner Roadhog's hook he's become awfully familiar with so far, and I wonder where Hooreg's going to the high ground now in Ray form. He's gonna.
I hope Justice loses this fight because Corey is feeding.
Corey gets frozen solid now. Hooreg has a chance.
Imagine if he is, instead of sitting in the high ground shooting nothing, is shooting the enemy tanks, is shooting whatever his tanks is shooting on, is following up on pulse, is helping his Anna not die, positioning to stop the Mail from freezing him. No, he'd... Oh no.
Supercharger as well.
Johnny's in deep trouble. Giannis was in the perfect position to pick that one up here and to watch the Justice turn around again. Oh,
I guess they just do this. Okay.
getting out of head. The Titans are down below 90 seconds.
So now Washington Justice has no ult economy, and they should lose the next fight.
Stratus, big blizzard.
You have Arc now at the end.
Big Blizzard, very tiny Bongo.
Matrix Corey with another dragon. Is Corey
If they used just one of them, it would have been fine, but they used both.
standing in the choke. The Titans, though, they do have both support ults and supercharger in the next fight. They have to be careful though, like they could end up using a sound barrier, right? Just kind of getting pushed all over the place, knocked back by Sansam's whole hog, get that wasted. And then all it takes is the M-Matrix and Corey to just be able to pick off a player or two, and that ends a push.
Hurek now on the flank. Needs to get some work done. Goes for the Death Blossom. There is any more.
Massive ultimate. Corey, that's so good from you. It's amazing. You almost got a kill. That's more than you've done the whole series so far.
Mortality field placed up. That's all he managed to get now. The amplification matrix is dropped on the high ground. The Titans, though, aren't really in position.
That's a really nice hook from Sam.
Pulled off the edge. He should have a chance to take a breather in.
Like this. Corey does nothing. Corey's flanking again. Corey does absolutely nothing. He's just wasting time right now.
Stratus, though, is just going to freeze Haxel from the high ground.
They should still win this fight, but it's just annoying how low value he's getting when playing like this.
That could be an impending D-suit. It had to be a self-destruct by Janu. He probably doesn't feel great about that one. Looking for...
Like, why? 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 Why would you do this? Why would you go up the high ground to kill these people, wasting your wall, allowing people to come back in? If he just walks to point, they have to drop. He can wall off this so no one can help them, and they just die to him anyway. But he also has his whole team helping him kill them, so it goes way quicker. And there's no way to recontest.
A little bit more from that ultimate. Normally, Aliu goes Stratus onto the point there. Now he's going to throw the blizzard down once more. Bump
Nanos Corey.
Stratus has to be careful. Great immortality field thrown down, but it might take a little bit more than that. Maybe Corey needs to step up again.
He also gets no value from the May ult.
Gonna try and get in Huxel's way here. Huxel trying to complete the kill though, and Arc does go down.
And this all snowballs back to Corey not shooting tanks and positioning to be May walled off. Corey starts playing with his team and they lose. Hanzo is such a vital part of this comp. It's not hard to play Hanzo, but if you play Hanzo wrong, it's terrible. You need to play him with your tanks, shooting the shield, shooting the tanks, and you just win every time.
Sometimes it only goes so far during the whole hog.
I was hoping this map would end.
Pick off for people who managed to surround him, and Janus goes down. It will be the Titans. Just at the end, managed to get the payload going.
What gets it going for the Titans is Sansami actually gets knocked down to the low ground. They do a nice job freezing him. It's a good wall that comes in from Hacksaw. Splits him off. Interesting enough.
Okay, they are playing Sombra now, so now they... Who's gonna kill things in this comp? I'm just very interested. Who's gonna deal the damage? This character is utility, this is utility, this is utility, some damage, this is damage, this is utility, this is utility. What is your comp going to achieve? I do not understand. I am thoroughly confused.
Here. So we haven't really seen this combo too much with the EMP plus I guess you're gonna EMP Blizzard. Usually when you see Sombra play, you expect some more flankers as you're gonna play more of a dive.
I mean,
Kureg
not
goes
even
for...
a DB hit a hack.
He goes for a hack. Oh, what?
What? If this was your plan, why would you not play Hanzo, Horeg? Is it because you are flanking and died to Corey, who was standing behind his tank so you couldn't shoot him? Have you considered standing behind your tanks and shooting the enemy tanks? I do not know. I think that might be better.
Okay. Oh, my.
Alright.
Like, this meta is not about flanking anymore. No. You just shoot shield and you shoot tanks and you win. That's how you play Hanzo here. It's not very difficult. No, it's like you say shoot shield forehead. Even the owl teams that's gone 22-1 are unable to shoot shield. When two of the best DPS players, people say, in the world are not able to shoot shield. I'm not sure if they're too prideful to shoot shield, or if there's something else, but they're incapable of shooting shield. And it amazes me how they are that. Corey is throwing over and over and over and over again by poor positioning, getting Mei walled off. But it doesn't matter because Horeg and Haxel, he is not getting walled off. He is not getting punished for flanking because Horeg is also flanking. And then Corey is just better at the beginning of fights because he uses his first Stormbow on the enemy shield. That is the reason they are winning these fights. I really thought Justice had become good. I was I was like, yes, Justice is finally gonna win games. Like, Corey's finally gonna pop off. Ark is finally gonna pop off. And it's like, no, they're probably gonna lose the next game because Vancouver Titans is just absolute dog shit right now. If I was gonna make a ranking, I would probably place Vancouver as the worst team in the league after watching this. Because this is absolute horrible.
That's filthy.
Hi, Karkor. How is the Doomfist going?
He's just having the roughest game possible.
I'm sorry, that rant was very needed. I really needed to rant like that. I'm really sorry. It was very necessary for me to get that out.
Corey just gonna try and play behind these.
That's one of those plays, I mean, you get hit like that, like, there ain't nothing you can do.
At this point, I'm not sure, Karkor.
Like, that's just a sick shot,
I'm
man.
not really a fan of it because I really don't want people to hear my donkey laugh like 3 times in a broadcast. It's kind of unnecessary. Garner's taken down though. Then
But okay, they still win the fight.
Okay. Oh, no way. 24 final blows. 24 final blows for Corey, 7 deaths.
And then they stagger because that's what this team is famous for, staggering and not getting more than one fight every point. That is what they were good at in GOATs.
The Justice will come back.
But after watching like 2 weeks, and so on, if both teams play Shield Break, does the better team come down to who is better mechanically, or is there still playmaking potential? I think that if one team is better at Shield Break than the other, then one team is very stupid. That is not very good, Karkor. I really, really hope that you get better. We can't lose the best Doomfist in Norway. You need to get back on the grind. But I really hope it gets better. I'm sorry to hear that. I think... Like, this is the thing. The comp that they're playing, this is not Shield Break. Okay? If they were playing Shield Break, they wouldn't be playing Mei. Mei is denying. Mei is just stopping the enemy from advancing and breaking your shield. Mei just completely denies Shield Break. She denies tanks. She denies hard push. She denies dive. Mei is just to deny. In reality, this is your second DPS character and this is your off tank. That is how they play. Because this guy controls and maintains space, and this person supports that. This person and this person are the ones actually killing and breaking the shield. These are your DPS characters, and these are your tanks. If you think about it that way, it changes a lot. Because then you're playing shield break DPS with space management tanks. Does that make sense? Because Mei is played basically as a tank. Your shield goes down, bam, wall. They're trying to pull hook you, bam, wall. There's a widow on the flank, bam, wall, push into the enemy team. And she keeps making these plays to counterplay the enemy. There is so much playmaking potential, but it's put into this role. This is your playmaker. These are your shield breaks. This is your anchor. And then these two, you pick what you want to do. So like, do you want to shield break? Okay, BAP Mercy. Do you want to be able to counter a Moira? Okay, BAP Anna. Do you want to play for something else in shield break while still playing Hanzo, playing for flanks, playing for something like that? Okay, I'll play Mercy Anna. Are they playing dive? Okay, I'll play Mercy Anna because they're harder to kill. I'll play Mercy BAP. This here's probably all because Doomfist is okay, at least I hope that explanation makes sense. Like, I'm very bad when I start ranting, but like, yeah. Doomfist is fun. I looking for, like, Korkor, I heard some leaks. This doesn't leave my chat, okay? But I heard certain AL teams are playing a lot of Doomfist and Koth right now to beat this comp. They're playing, like, double dive tanks, either Winston Diva or Bull Diva, with Doomfist, Tracer, or Doomfist Sombra, or Doomfist Reaper. And they're playing Mercy Brigitte with the new Brigitte. And they're just forehead smorking into the enemy team and just running them over. I have not watched it on a stream, but I did watch it last night. It was a really, really good match. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Does BAP counter dive? BAP counters dying. Yeah, BAP counters dying a lot, and dying is a very thing that happens during a dive. No, the Meg counters the dive, and the BAP just dies slower than other supports. If that makes sense. Like BAP is pretty bad into dive because dive does a lot of cleave damage, which means that the field will die quicker. Whereas more of this was Nixel was prepared, Go was changed actually good. I am not sure. I watched this game live, and I thought Justice was great, and I thought when Titan was like, okay, I guess Justice is good now. But then I realized, watching it back, that wait, Titans just actually feeds. Because you need to watch it over time and actually talk about it and think about it while watching. You can't really just do that. But Jinmu's an app, like, if I were to make a top 12 players in AL, I would put Jinmu on that list. I would put Jinmu and Ding as probably the best two Flex DPS players in the league. I think they're absolutely insane. Jinmu and Ding, two best Pharahs. I think Pharah's super underrated. I think she'll see much more plays. Yeah, because Nixel, okay, this thing is meta, we're gonna play it everywhere. That's Nixel. That's what they do. They play one comp and they don't adapt. Okay, I'm losing viewers because I'm ranting. I need to keep watching. Nixel was never flexible. They were just really good at one comp.
So some good ultimates here for the Justice. Also, pay attention to the top when Guido, he's been on the Ana, he's been able to land a lot of biotic grenades, so his angle's not going to be...
No, but this is really good. This is really good because it's important that you guys understand what I'm talking about and that I make myself understood. Because this is really important concepts. They're not interesting to listen to, but they're really, really good concepts that you need to understand to play Bunker, and people need to understand in this meta. The base concept of what does Mei do, what does Hanzo do, what does different support duos do, when do you play Diva, when do you play Hog, which one do you play when, how will Sigma interact with these things, and there's a lot of things going on. And it's really, really important. They're not distracting me at all, it's just really important. Oh, okay, Panda. I will do it again. Give me another 30 minutes. And I'm just kidding. I'll explain it as we go along, because we'll see it more. But if you just joined the stream, then the general idea of this match so far is that Titans is feeding, Justice alright but not great. And every single fight that the Titans have won is because Corey throws. That's basically it.
Scenario here. Remember, these picks from Corey can be enough to decide a fight on their own.
They use just about everything though.
Korkor, if you're not going with the Norwegian World Cup team as a Doomfist specialist, it's just complete SMH.
Slime's gonna have to speed boost everybody back.
This was the first time the Titans went into a half time without a map win. This might be the first time they looked at a Rio. That would have been it there too.
But no, there's already one really, really good Doomfist, and you gotta vote, but it's Yikes. What do you mean with it being Yikes? But oh my, what's the name of the Shanghai Dragons Doomfist player? Because he's absolutely nuts as well. I need to find that out right now. Oh, okay. Well, that's fair. Let's see, Shanghai Dragons. What is the name of the Doomfist player is absolutely insane. Okay, first off, this guy's probably the best Mercy in the league right now. Then Youngjin. This guy. Youngjin, absolutely insane. He's my third DPS. Right? So Ding, Youngjin, and Jinmu. 3 best flex DPS players in the league right now. No question. It's not even close, I think, between anyone else. They're absolutely insane. So yeah. You have 2 Pharah players and a Doomfist player being the 3 best.
Ureg gonna try and surround to the payload. He has an EMP, or he almost does. He doesn't want to get picked off. It'd be an awful shame if he took an arrow to the face.
What is this bongo placement? Janice, do you want to please explain to me why you're bongoing like this? That's the first thing. The second one is, this is a pretty good bongo placement, but this is an absolutely insane wall. Do you think Kree weapon buff was insanely overdone? Is that you? I think that is you. Because I don't think McCree is good. I do not see McCree here, and I think there's a reason for it. I think McCree is decently good into this comp, but McCree just hard loses to this. I think the fact that people overreact to McCree, but no one reacts to Hanzo being absolutely broken his release is weird. Hanzo's been broken since the game started, and he still is. And no one realizes how broken he is. No, Widow is no longer broken because Mei just counters it. Tracer is not broken because Mei just counters it. This comp is absolutely broken because all of these heroes are broken. These 3 heroes are broken. They're stupid. They're overloaded. They do too many things too well. These are the 3 most broken heroes in the game right now. You might even add Mercy to that list. Yeah, Hanzo's been broken since the game was released. Both versions of Hanzo. Hanzo's just been insane. But okay, so what would I do differently if I was Justice here? First off, I would move my bongo 20 centimeters like that, so it's behind the wall. Second, I have no idea what Sandstorm is doing this far back. Who is that on the high ground, and why is there a BAP here? They're both at risk of getting picked off or someone going high ground, but I guess they're playing around EMP, so that's fine. Where is Chorus? Corey. Where is Corey? What is Corey doing over here? What? Me do not understand. If Corey, if Justice loses this fight, this is gonna be the 3rd fight in a row where Corey flanks and they lose.
Oh, no, can't protect himself. He doesn't have the cooldown available, but it's a 1-for-1 trade. Both Roadhogs are down, and now it's going to be the EMP dropped in, but Giannis is being healed up so much. Stratus gets taken down from the high.
And the reason they lose this fight is because there's no tank pressure, so Titans can just take the space, and when they have the space, they just win, because they have an EMP. They don't even need to use the EMP to get the space. That's insane. So, Corey through. Again. I am very sad.
They managed to push up, they'll have themselves this checkpoint, and 90 seconds added to the clock.
The EMP at the end, able to make a big difference, connects with just about everybody. Arc not connected with that, but did not matter as we will continue Hollywood here.
Okay, let's continue. Next fight. I think Justice will still win this fight because they have the better comp. They're gonna get mail during the beginning of this fight. They're gonna get BAP ult. At this point, I do not even know if like these teams are just pressing Q of cooldown. There seems like there's no planning. There seems like there's no understanding of ult economy. It seems like a plat game. Alright, I will see which votes I end up doing. I will probably do like another hour after I'm done this series. and I'll do like 1 or 2 other reviews. We'll see.
No ultimates here for the Justice. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm kind of surprised you're not seeing them take a.
I like Justice holding this far back. They're playing a good air. This is what we talked about, right? But oh, Orisa can now walk around this corner if the shield breaks, which is really important.
Playing a little bit more passive, want to build up these ultimates.
Like I wanted to do this Owl review because this was an insane match, but in reality, it's just really bad. I was really hyped for it. Nice pull hook. I have no idea what Haxel was doing. He doesn't wall it. Did Haxel waste the wall? Let's go back and see. Where is Haxel's wall?
Closer fight, but it seems like with the way they're playing a little bit more passive, want to build up these ultimates towards the.
That is where the Haxel wall is. Why? I don't understand. Why would you wall that? They're playing Orisa Hog. So Haxel threw the fight. This is how easy it is to throw a fight in this meta. One mistake, and you're screwed. Because the mistakes are so big. Now this is probably just, okay, we lost the map. The series is over. GG, go next. We lost the series against Justice. Hanzo's not shooting shield at the beginning of fight and used the first stormer to shield? Okay, we lost the fight. We waste the May wall? Okay, we lost the fight. They're trying to do so many things before the fight even starts, and it's like you're throwing by not doing by doing something. And when I say that, it's better to do nothing than waste your cooldowns in this matchup. Because if you waste one cooldown, you're going to be hard punished. Yeah, so far this is a game of who is worse. And Vancouver Titans is very clearly worst. Janu is on Hog because Sansam is getting insane value on Hog, so he's like, I should also play Hog. But then he doesn't get any value, it's like, why did I not get value? I'm gonna go back to Diva. The reason he gets no value is because Stratus is a better mid than Haxel.
Really great option to do so. Yeah, obviously, just finishing in general. It's going to be a worry here. Is you're going to have Nano Boost plus the Amp Matrix here for the Justice and Blizzard.
They're ready. You might be about to see something absolutely crazy, Overwatch League viewers. Corey sat in the back corner there. Coalescence thrown out, but there is a Blizzard in there. Johnny was the one frozen now. The sound barrier from Slime was good, but it doesn't keep the mech alive. Dragon Strike.
This is a big confuse. So I'm gonna explain why it's a big confuse. Watch how much space they get. So that wall is an absolute. Like, I guess it's to stop a pull hook. Then they bap-ult way too late, so they can just walk through the bap-ult. Then they mail the tank line, but they haven't forced Fortify yet. So all of that just hits one person. Then they drag nothing, because there's nothing on payload. And like the only reason Titans lose this is because they feed harder. There's no good plays in this entire fight. There's not a single good play. There's like 5 mistakes. Of people just throwing random ults nowhere. I think that any GM Hanzo who knows how to play the game, playing next to their Orisa, not next because they will get pull hooked, but playing with their team could play an Owl right now. Hanzo is so easy to play. It's so easy to play. But if you do anything wrong, it's terrible. Yeah, we just pull the force fortify or flank with your hog, and then you just save your mail because they're not under pressure when they mail. There's no pressure on them. Sure, there's a Reaper in the back line, but he's not doing anything because he's in a bad position. So they're just throwing out their ultimates way too early. Corey gets no value with his Dragon Strikes whatsoever. No, it's terrible. This is terrible.
He gets rid of Stratus, now towards the payload though he's low, he's able to take Janus with him now, finally Hurig able to get some impact in this game on the Reaper. Death Blossom is available for him, but he needs to be careful. He's playing
massive.
He gets taken down immediately, again it's Corey. Arc stepping up to the point now with that.
No, are they actually going to be able to finish?
They moved up the payload.
Oh No way. I forgot this happened. This is so bad by Justice. If Justice just used one of their ultimates correctly, they win that. But they waste Dragon. They waste May ult. Yeah, no. Just make it end already. They misused every single ultimate they had and got no value from any of them. Like, how do you mess up May, Hanzo, Hug, and Baptiste ult in the same fight? It's gonna get better quality after a bit. It's probably just rendering still, Panda. If not, it might be your recording settings, which we can look at and we can fix it. Actually, we can do that straight away. I will show you my recording settings, if I am able to. Give me 1 second. This is the settings that I use when I both stream and record. That is still rendering, right? So it just needs a little bit to... Well, my computer is also shit and I can still stream with an okay quality. Okay. No, it's like how long since you uploaded it? Because it's probably just rendering still. Oh, wait. I forgot there's another round to watch.
They draw this map, there's only one left, one more map to go, and the Titans can't get 2 points from that.
I tell you what, though, if I'm the Justice, I want to win this now. I want to see that 4-0 at the end here against the Titans.
Oh, you want to clean it up.
See, it's Taimu, #1 for final blows, set in a single map.
Corey's 30 final blows, 8 deaths right now. It's just filthy. That's it. Justice now take it easy. I mean, they'd love to get the clean win, right? They'd love to take that 4-0. No draws here, fam. Up to the high ground he goes. Bumper sleeping currently.
Corey, what value are you getting from this storm, bro? Just shoot the shield. Stop trying to be fancy. There's Narissa sleeping on the ground, which is a free hook for you if you just follow up on it. They let him live. He gets slept. Without there's no fortify on, and he just sleeps on the ground next to the shield and doesn't die. I think Stratus is playing fine, because as long as the Titans are not on the high ground, he can just stay there for free. There's no punish, because there's no long range damage.
Coalescence, trying to keep Bumper up. He gets really low. The Ant Matrix used here.
It's a nice wall.
It just creates some space around the corner. It's the Titans deciding now whether they want to take high ground or not.
Alright, Bumper's still alive thanks to that Coalescence, so the shield is possible still. Giannis. Oh my gosh!
They're just playing in the open without a shield. That is not an insane shot. That's a very, very easy shot.
You are absolutely mad! Out of control, goes for the Dragon Strike, throws it in. Look at what Twilight.
I just get frustrated with these casters hyping up easy shots. Like, I'm all for setting up easy shots. But they could have won this fight 30 seconds ago if he just didn't feed. Justice always manages to throw this. They almost manage to throw it so they don't win the map.
Corey and the Washington Justice secured themselves map 3 in the series. Victory against the Vancouver Titans. The Titans' second loss in the regular season. Corey ends with 34. It's actually, yeah, out of the gates. There's not.
Checking it during the break. He's like, we live in a world where the Florida Mayhem.
Thank God. Titans is only one hero of being on a good comp. This is unseen before.
Put up a better fight against the Washington Justice and the Vancouver Titans. Welcome to roll-up. The game has changed in a big way, man.
That sounds like Sunny Monster would say. Yeah. Out of the gates here, we go. Corey on the Hanzo still, of course. I don't like it. It's got a bit of a ring to it, you know. Twilight does find that first pick on Guido, though.
I am not sure about Guido's on Sun.
We'll slow the Justice down now. The Mortality field is used.
I
I think Babsen is bad because Mercy Sen is better. I don't think Babsen is terrible. I don't think it's like a bad heal duo. I just think that Anna Bap and Mercy Bap and Mercy Anna does more. I think they're better. I don't think any one of them is bad. If you were to play Lucio Sen, I think that's terrible. Like that's a bad heal duo. So I don't think Babson is bad. I think it's worse with other options, right? I'm not saying that it's a bad heal duo. I'm saying it's not optimal. Lucio, anything except Moira is terrible. That's a bad heal duo.
Outside of like how good the Justice have looked, I think the Batiste use from teams throughout the day has been more. I think you're going to see that with snipers in play. Snipers in play, you bring out the Ant Matrix, you bring out the Immortality field.
Oh, also, someone asked me on my Discord earlier, how do hog plays to stop them from getting pull hooked? You play like this. Look at where the hog is. The hog is right behind here. Right behind, like it's right behind the Mei. And the only person that can get pull hooked is the Orisa. And whenever she's going to look for a pull, you're going to see the hog moving forward from the side now to look for the pull hook.
I think it has a ton of uses.
You see, the hog moves forward whenever they're pulling, and then he's standing far back whenever they're not.
Like this. It's going to be an early blizzard here from Stratus already.
Okay, he actually just Kobe'd that. And then Bumper feeds. Yeah, I think holding here is perfectly fine. But then the whole team should be holding here. They just all run away. It's like, bye Bumper, have a wonderful time. And then now he's just dead. Let's see how far they can get with this. They might be able to pick up staggers.
Twilight's still here. He's behind the runner. Actually behind Corey.
This is good positioning from Corey.
Neither are Arc or Guido. I've actually noticed where Twilight is now. This could be really bad, or I mean, Twilight doesn't have Transcendence, so
That should. Okay, so if that kill doesn't go through, they lose that fight because of it. Because their shield is going to break first.
Now, yeah,
No, Vancouver is a perfectly doable dive team. They were playing a pretty optimal range. It was just after the Maywell went out, they ran away. Because they didn't expect it to land that far back. They expected it to land further forward. So they panicked and ran away. If Corey doesn't actually kill him there with the storm bow, they're going to lose the fight because their shield is going to break. But it doesn't matter because he gets the pick.
The cart keeps moving. So you'll have a Dragon Strike for both teams, Ant Matrix as well. Let's see if the Titans can even come back and touch. Like a halt could push them away. That's going to be a Maywall. They hook Janu out.
This is a really smart play. And it's a very easy play that anyone can do. If your Orisa's here, and their Orisa's here, and you place a Maywall like this, you pull above the Maywall, they can no longer cancel your hook. This you can do every fight. Whenever the hog is playing too close, the reason they're not doing this more is because the hog is positioning better. But in tier 3 and tier 2, you can do this all the time because the hogs are out of position. They're playing too close to the Orisa. Just wall in front of the enemy Orisa, pull above the wall, and then hook them. And it's free hooks all day. Because there's no way to Maywall it.
dragons, lots of dragons, double dragon in fact, doesn't stop the payload at all!
Haxel, what are you doing? I cannot fathom what you are thinking right now. I guess you thought Bumper would contest? Like, sure, you win this fight, but they don't even win the fight. This is so bad. I would just tilt out of my mind after that, and I would just stop playing the game. Is this when Bumper locks Ryan? Oh, I'm so done. No, don't do it to him. Don't do it to him. Okay, he didn't do it to him. It's fine. Sam, now you're feeding. Now you're feeding. Okay, it's fine.
I mean, at times there's not even a ton to talk about because the Titans aren't even at full strength in a lot of these fights. I mean, look, they're just getting picked off basically in their spawn. I mean,
I don't know. I think Titans look like they've given up. They're just done. That is my face through this entire VOD review. It's either that or me like, oh my god, I don't know.
We have tried, for sure. We do want to assess their form going.
I haven't seen a single good play. Okay, the pull the wall is like nice, but it's like I think like single good insane play or alt combo this whole game. Don't use dragon. Don't use dragon. My disappointment is indescribable.
There's a difference between losing and then potentially getting 4-0'd while somebody is dunking on you to the effect of they're basically setting league records.
Like how many dragons has he wasted? I want to know how many dragons he shot who hasn't hit anyone. And I can promise you it's more than actually hit someone.
There's close losses. This is a bad one. And right now, I mean, you're rolling here in Havana. I mean, you have 4 minutes to get to the end of the map.
This is crazy. NYXL would be the only team that's ever been 4-0. That's pretty astonishing. Also, never got
They force 45, Bumper's 1 HP. Good bongo placement.
a lot of damage.
Is this just one of those by Titans or do you think Titans are screwed in future versus Hog match? I don't want to give up on Titans yet. I don't want to give up on them yet. But I think that if they aren't getting Orisa down, I would look for another flex support, flex DPS, I mean, instead of Haxel. Haxel is amazing in dive, and he's amazing he's so good mechanically. But his head is just wired to play Genji. And Bumper's head is just wired to me play goats, me press W. Me smash. And once he can't do that, and once he needs to play smart and use his cooldowns in a certain way, think about placement of shield, thinking about pushing, aggression, comboing, he suddenly just loses all his pressure in a match. Because this is not their playstyle. I think this team either needs to change completely and be like, okay, screw it, we cannot play these comps that the other teams are playing. We need to just play our own thing, we need to play dive, we need to play Genji. We need to find our own thing to do, because this is not for us. This is not our meta. This is not how we like to play the game. So either we full 180 our playstyle, or we play what we're good at. Either they have to do one of those two, or they have to replace members. That's the two options I see. It's like the Brazilian World Cup team in football in 1958. Where they try to play European football, it doesn't work, and they suddenly start playing their own thing, and it works really, really well, and they win the World Cup. This is the same thing. They either need to stop playing what other teams are playing, find their own thing, or get new players. Because this is clearly not working for them. But we will see. I don't want to give up on it yet, but right now, that is what it looks like. They need to find their own style. Corey's too far forward.
And as you can imagine, that definitely takes the wind out of the Justice's sails here.
And I tell you what, it doesn't get much easier for Vancouver.
They're still committing to this fight. I don't know why.
One against London and then one against...
Why are these teams committing to lost fights? And these are some of the best players in the world now. Makes it feel super bad for it. Well, the thing is, I think people need to realize that the difference between this match right here and contenders is not that big. I think the difference between tier 3 and comp and tier 2 is way bigger than the difference between tier 2 and tier 1. The top of tier 1 is really, top of tier 2 is really, really good. But right now, I have no idea.
These are a few picks that go in favor of the Titans.
Because mechanically, these players are absolutely nuts. But team play is a completely different game.
Ran out of ammo there as the Dragon Strike comes through. Trying to knock players back.
It's like he's trying to belly bump off the map. Again, there's a little bit of a reload time on that scrap gun. Hurek probably thought he could avoid the blizzard by climbing up the wall that was put there by Strikes, but it's a dome, and the dome goes over the top of the wall.
Mitch, if I told you going into this week that next week's London-Vancouver match would be with London coming off a crushing loss to the Mayhem, and then the Titans coming off a crushing loss to the
What is Bumper doing? He's just peeking for no reason. Is it like, I'm gonna 1v1 a Hanzo when I'm half HP and he's full HP? I'm gonna win this 1v1, guys.
I wouldn't ask you again until
I'm not gonna stand behind my shield. I hit the pull.
They're getting rolled. I mean, you could finish Havana here with like 3+ minutes. Corey picking some players up. That's gonna be a blizzard that comes down.
Corey, what are you doing? This is terrible. You're in such a bad position.
Bumper's going to come back.
They're gonna lose this fight. They're gonna lose this fight. No way.
Damage down, but
How did they lose this fight? Did they? Because I remember them losing this fight. Also, bumpers on his main.
I mean, it's not really shouldn't be allowed on TV. I'm glad we kind of moved it off XD. To be honest, this is just brutal. Haxel,
Like, why are you pushing this? Why are you pushing here? You're pushing into the sightlines of Widow. You're pushing into the sightlines of the Doomfist, of the Hog, of the app. You're just pushing into their sightlines instead of just shooting whatever at some point.
Shielding up on the cart.
playing Reinhardt, bro.
Trying to extend it.
Like, they're losing this fight because they stopped focusing on having good sightlines. They are letting their enemy snipers peek them. You're letting the Doomfist get flanks on you. You are not shooting their tanks because you're trying to get picks and look flashy. And then they end up losing for it. Can the Maywell be used often to block May sightlines when team pull, or is it more worth it saved for enemy pull? It depends on the team. If you're dominating, it's super tilting to the enemy team to pull hook above your own wall. And if they're being really slow in setting up, then you can also do that. You just need to make sure that your wall is put up first. Every time. So it's a matter of the matchup. If the enemy team is playing D.Va, you can always do it. Because they can't pull you back. So it's a matter of your opponent more than a matter of yourself.
Possible, but the kills keep going in favor of the Justice. The Justice have to back out here, though. So you just have Arc as a support here, but he's taking the one-on-one against Hurek.
Oh, my
in the
man!
spawn. There you go. The blood
Yeah.
support.
There'll be a stagger here.
Now he's dead. Yeah.
Don't let him know that he's
Can they kidnap him here?
done goofed. Still worth though.
2 minutes.
I wonder that if no, that's not going to be good. Is there anywhere Bumper can charge him in which the charge would end before the wall hit? I wonder if he could have charged like walked further out towards the edge of the map and then charged him this direction and then up the stairs, and then the charge would have ended without dealing damage to the. I think they could have done that to stagger even more, but again, it's insignificant. It's just they could have staggered way more
Payload
by
on the
kidnapping.
line here. They are very close to completing it. Bumper, he's gonna have to stay here, I guess, on Reinhardt. So you're gonna play the Reinhardt with a Roadhog. Is Bumper just gonna stand on the cart, basically have a personal shield, and that's about it.
Still wants to go the Reinhardt here. You have to think there is a reason for that. I think the Justice are happy. There's a reason why we're not seeing much Reinhardt play. Corey wants to flank here. Okay. Oh, that Sonic Arrow should have revealed Hurek's location. Hurek, though, is going to use his infrasight, so we should know where Corey is.
I don't understand why Justice is not playing together. They're playing on two different flanks. So the Hog is playing like just the Mei inside here. There's someone over here. I don't know who it is. The Orissa's here. Corey's on the flank here. Why are they not just playing together and just killing the Rhine? And the Hog is over there, yeah. Okay. No, why wouldn't they just all walk through main here? Take slight off angles to shoot on the front of the cart to kill the Rhine. He will eventually be forced to either back off completely, or he would be forced to walk into them and make a play. Either way, he would have died, and if he does that, you may well. Why would you not just play together? Why would you go for these things? Justice, stop trying to carry and just play together, because you are going to win. You're playing the superior comp.
This is a very difficult point to take and even fall back from. So now the Titans starting to put up a fight here on D. John Newton now playing D, but no real reason for the Roadhog that you're playing the Reinhardt. No combo with like a halt hook.
But Corey and Stratus actually have almost the exact same amount of damage. May and Hunter, it's very good for Stratus. Corey just trying to...
Why is he on a flank? Corey, what are you doing? Just play with your team and shoot the Reinhardt. You're getting no value whatsoever playing here. This is an actual throw.
Get around that shield of bumpers, or at least forcing the turn a little bit more often. There's been a transcendence here by Guido. There it is, found Slime. Nice pick by Corey. That is quite long range. Bumpers not be getting away there. He got...
He hits someone with this dragon. That's insane. Insane value. But like, if he was playing with his team, they wouldn't have needed to go for these last two fight. How should Orisa Hog prevent? Okay. Look at this comp and tell me who breaks their shield. And if the shield somehow breaks, they may well. And then there's a new shield they need to break. they need to break 2 shields and the duration of a Maywall to hit the Shatter. That gives the Hanzo, well, 20 seconds. In general, thinking ladder. Because people on ladder does not shoot shield. Hanzo's... Okay, so Hanzo flanking gets value, but Hanzo playing with his team gets more value. It's a matter of being optimal. He is shooting the backline, who's playing up here, who is not contesting the point. If he kills what is on point, the people who are playing here is forced to move to the payload, meaning they just die. But yeah, the only thing that stops, there's nothing that really stops it in comp. But on ladder, it's just, you don't break shield because people don't shoot shield in ladder. That works.
Oh no, he's in trouble as well. John is sitting up on top of the wall here. There's no one left for the Vancouver Titans.
It's like, if you're playing double sniper, I understand flanking Hanzos. But why wouldn't the Widow be the one flanking? You're not playing a Widow here, so there's no one who should flank. So, just cheapen. Wait, is this where the bumper face is? Yeah. This face is not happy. This is very sad person. I wish I could play Ryan right now face.
Vancouver Titans. Someone who should be thankful for the winds of change blowing. I think it's helped their team.
I think the valiant thing about the Custody.
Okay.
I've seen that on stream.
I love this comp. I absolutely love this. I think maybe I'll play Hanzo instead of the Widow. But other than that, I love this comp. I think it's great for this map. I think it's amazing on 2CP. I think Hanzo Pharah is super underplayed. I think it's great.
A few times. Custody Doomfist, oh.
Yeah. I mean, I believe it.
But I was gonna say, so what does this do for like Team USA, right? You see like this type of performance from somebody like Corey, right? It gives you a lot of hope. We go towards the Overwatch World Cup.
Always a lot of, I think there's the overabundance of hope for the USA in the World Cup is kind of the issue. You know what I mean?
Like, look at this. There's no angles Hura can take to be value on Widow here. He needs to go for a grapple shot, which is really hard to hit. And even then, like they can just keep spamming. And he can't do anything about it. Do you have any personal tips on maintaining morale when losing? What did you tell your teams? I think that keeping morale when losing is a matter of what you decide to focus on. And some players are really, really good on this, and some players aren't able to do this at all. But it's a matter of, do you look to win your practice? Do you look to just win? In which case, you're not looking to perform, you're looking to win. There's two very different things. Looking to improve and looking to win. It's not the same thing. And the problem is, a lot of players are not able to wire their head that if we're losing, we can still improve. And, oh, we're losing, we're not good, we're terrible, we're bad, why are we even doing this? And a lot of players end up with that attitude the instant they start losing. And then, the best thing you can do is just remind them, why are you scrimming? Why are you practicing? You're practicing to improve, you're practicing to get better. You're not looking to peak against a contenders team, you're looking to get to Owl. In which case you need to keep improving all the time. And then, if they start tilting, which is what it's called when losing morale, when losing, it's tilting, as happens. And you just need to make sure they're focusing on improving. And the best way to do that is make sure your team has VOD reviews. I think you need to make sure that they know what they're doing. You need to make sure that if a scrim is going really poorly, you might have to cancel it, but you need to remind your team why they're doing what they're doing. Why are you playing this game? Why are we here playing? And not every player is able to wire their head around that. So, yeah. What do you think Pharah's not being played as much? Why would you lose value against me? The problem with Pharah is the same as the problem with Junkrat. It is, Junkrat and Pharah have consistent spam, but in lower bursts. Hanzo has good spam in higher bursts. The Storm Arrow as an ability is a very high burst ability, the same as Scatter Arrow would be. And high burst spam is really good against Orisa, And therefore, you need the Hanzo to be able to deal with the Orisa shield. It's the only ability in the game which works that way. And then Pharah and Junkrat has consistent spam, but there's no like amazing burst, and suddenly they just bam, 600 damage to shield. Pharah is also being underplayed a lot because people are like, hey, Pharah can fly, therefore she has to fly, and then the enemy can play Widow and just snipe her. They don't understand that if she plays really close to a wall, there's no way for Widow to peek her, or she doesn't even need to fly, she can be walking around on the ground. Hey Fapulele, thank you for showing up. If you want to keep updated on when I'm streaming and get updates and see my schedule and everything, I haven't added the schedule because I'm getting some graphics made for the stream. But if you join my Discord, !Discord in chat, you can see my schedule and you will be notified whenever I go live. So yeah, just so you know that is possible. It's hard to think that way in a pro scene and you're fighting a livelihood survival. Well, it is hard to think that way. But it's also an even better reason, like, if I have a really bad day at work, I don't go and be like, yeah, I will still do my job and I'll try to do it properly. Because that's what work is, and there's a reason you're at work. But you need to treat it as work. You can't treat it as a game anymore. You don't play this game for fun, you play to become good, and you play to be the best. You need to enjoy being the best. And to be the best, you need to work to improve. You need to be able to not tilt when losing. Right? It's really, really hard to explain because every single player is so different. So it's almost impossible to be able to keep your mentality positive when losing. Do you think Summon Finitella... Do you think Summon and Infinitella will change things in your positioning? Sim and Infinitella will change things as your repositioning, remember? No, I do not think so. I think Sim's base kit is too weak. I think the way she works as a hero is too weak to change that. I think Handsome May is too good. It's current to improve not to win. Exactly, Rocket. That's why I have, like, as a tier 3 team, I have mad respect for Niriki and the Finnish players and the Finnish environment in the game. I think it's absolutely insane. I have mad respects to all of you. Because you are more professional and better players during practice than most tier 2 teams. You're absolutely insane. Yeah. No, let's finish this match now.
Stratus as well, just kind of playing over the building. Like what you see from Hureg's PV. If he can't grapple and get up, that's really his only opportunity. He's not going to blindly come around the corner here. He's just going to get killed by Corey. So Hureg actually gets digged here and he gets low, and they use Immortality Field in their spawn.
An important thing with a hold like this is that your Pharah is right above them. If you run away, your Pharah is dead. Hey C, hello BC, B Crownus? B Crown. I'm gonna call you BC. You're BC. Hi BC. You've never seen. It's been played a lot in this map in Owl so far, and so many contenders. How should Reaper use his teleport against Mei Hanzo, if at all? This is the Reaper team. They're standing here, and here's the Mei team. Here's the Reaper team. Here's the Hanzo team. This is the Hanzo team. And here's the Reaper team. And you press E in the middle of them while your team presses W, and you either try to kill their tanks or you kill their backline. If you're about to get frozen, you press Shift. And hope the Hanzo doesn't headshot you. That is basically how you play that matchup, and that's why I think Hanzo is better.
An opportunity to get a pick here. The Bumper's going to play Winston for what? Double sniper. Okay, so the Haxel's going to go to Pharah. You're going to play your own Pharah. You're going to play the Winston. So
Haxel finally getting to play something that is.
Well, John is Team X, so you can't do anything.
Nope. And he can't. I mean, there's no pressure now really on Stratus here. Hureg on the Widowmaker is out of sight lines. You see, Stratus just goes back and forth over this roof here. Whichever side he's on, he's essentially.
I am happy that I can make Owl more digestible to you, Aquot. I'm sorry if I butcher anyone's name. Please don't be offended. I am not very good at names. I can promise you would butcher my name as well. And you already are. Soul Consumer, thank you for the follow. It's very much very much appreciated.
Corey's got his walls already. Because Corey doesn't really have to worry about Hurek. He's so often.
Like, I think a big problem with OWL right now for the casual viewer is that this game is really difficult to understand. And I do not think that the analyst on the desk is doing a good enough job of being in-depth on it. I think they should be having streams around OWL. Like, I think the analyst here, I know this is a lot of work, but they should be streaming, explaining things outside of work hours. Because it's really important that every viewer can understand what's going on. So that it's more than just watching and be like, oh, this is cool. But be like, oh, that's actually a really good play, and then realizing, well, they're kind of just feeding. But understanding the actual game is really, really difficult, so I think they're not doing a good enough job on teaching the viewers. Why is Bumper and Winston? I am Paul. Do you think meta is still too in flux for them to explain other than explain? Well, considering they couldn't explain goats after 3 stages of goats. I have consulted the caster once. The only caster who would ever listen to me is Blank, the Contenders caster. I offered help to others before, but he's the only one that's actually taken me up on the offer before. But yeah, I would be very open to doing that. I would say half the casters don't understand the game. I think I would agree with you. I think they understand the 10% of the things that everyone understands. The things that you need to understand to come into game. But there's a lot of this in-depth stuff, and they don't have the time in scrims. Like, I think, I don't know how much casters do it. I know Contenders casters do not do this. I don't know about OWL, but sitting on scrims, get to watch the teams play scrims. And then talk to the coaches during the scrim, or just be allowed, like, hey, can I sit in your text chat or sit in your voice channel and listen to your comms? And talk to the coaches what they are doing and what they think, and have them explain things. I can promise you that if Contenders casters ask the top teams in Contenders, hey, can I come in and watch your scrims? Can I listen to your comms? Can I get to talk to your coaches? They would do that. But the casters are not doing it. And that stops them from understanding the game to such an extent that they can actually create these. Like, the only person I think have done a good job of this so far is Sideshow. Sideshow has a better understanding than the rest of the cast, the rest of the people on stage of OWL combined. Sideshow actually comes with some good points every now and then that I agree with. And he actually comments on things that I wish people had commented on. I think Jake's an alright caster. I think Jake and CP is a good duo. CP is more of this old school sports caster from America, and Jake's a player. I think Wolf and Achilles is by far my favorite caster duo. There is no question. I think Wolf and Achilles, they're the only ones I've never considered muted. I love Sideshow. Sideshow is amazing.
I can't tell if the times are taking the piss with a couple of these hero picks, to be honest.
No, I think they're just kind of lost in terms of what to do at this point. Like, I think they want to put pressure on a Corey. They know how good of a Widow he is. But you can't really play the... I mean, now you have the Nano Boost Bumper on the way in here to try.
I wonder how Uber and Sideshow would be as a caster duo. I think they would be hilarious. And like, also, let's see, what did you say? Okay, so you say the meta is still too in flux. What I would like to refer to then is that the first 2 weeks right now reminds me of stage 1 this season, where none of the casters had ever casted Ghost before. They'd never seen it properly before. They had not talked to anyone about Goats before, and the teams were not ready to play Goats before, and good teams, we thought, lost to bad teams, we thought. When in reality, the good teams won against the bad teams. We just didn't know who was good or bad yet. And this is the exact same that's happening now. And there's going to be a massive patch, I think. I expect there to be a massive patch before the season playoffs. Who's going to change the entire meta. No one's going to have any idea what the meta is. Every team is going to do their completely own thing. And it's going to be great. It's going to be so good. I'm not sure which patch is going to be on. I have no inside info on that. But I really hope it's not the PTR patch and they push one more patch in before. But at least Sigma is going to be there, so I think we'll see a lot of Orisa Sigma. It's going to be full madness, and I'm going to love it. It's going to be so good. It's going to be free content on stream, because no one's going to understand what's going on. Not even me. So we're just gonna talk about like, oh, this player's insane on this hero, and they're all gonna play their comfort heroes, and it's gonna be so fun to watch. Because Hacktel's gonna be playing Genji, Corey's gonna be playing Widow, Estrada's gonna be playing Mei. They're just gonna play all their comfort heroes and play around that. It's gonna be amazing. Okay. So they got 2 minutes of holding this one.
Corey responds though, gets rid of Bumper once more. The self-destruct, dude! And you can feel the blood.
Madness is the best to watch because it requires thought and counterplay, unlike... yeah, in a way, but I think that this is not Madness. I don't think this is actual thought. I think both these teams are just... One is playing more passive than the other, and therefore they're winning. I think GOATS is probably the most intricate way the game has ever been, and the most developed meta we will ever have. I love GOATS, and I think it was great. And I think the casters did not do a good enough job in learning how it works. I think the teams that were good at it were really, really good at it. And I think that they should nerf Sombra. I think GOATS meta was boring to watch because of Sombra, not because of GOATS. Yeah. I would much rather watch GOATS all day than Sombra.
See the blood drain out of the Titans' faces here. I guess they're corpses now, I think of it. Gunnis goes down though, so Yanni's able to find something there. Nano boost on Sun, Sun chases Hooray.
I wish they used Watchpoint to dive... Yeah, I would really like a segment where they're like, hey, here's exactly what happened in this one fight for 5 minutes. And yeah, I would really like that. Like, the reason I decided to start streaming again, I've just been on this is my 3rd stream or something, is because I feel there's a severe lack of understanding in Tier 3, especially, but also in Tier 2, and about the casual viewers having access to a resource to understand the game more. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to do like 2 days a week of OWL reviews of like the best series from OWL that week, twice a week, and then I'm going to do VOD reviews for my viewers twice a week. And then we're going to see if I join a team, or if I decide to stream for more hours a day, or what I decide to do. So yeah. Maybe livecast final playoffs. I don't know about that. It's really, really late for me. It's like 6 AM, the finals play, and I am happy that you are enjoying the stream, Fapulele. Also, is Fapulele Bacon Thief by any chance? Maybe. I don't think Avast would want me on a stream.
It's rough to watch, isn't it?
Well, streaming consistently is really, really hard when I scrim six times a week. Right now, I'm not scrimming at all, so it's really easy for me to stream every day. I could stream every single day, but I won't have few off days because I'm doing tryouts for teams. I'm really bad at streaming. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just sitting here talking about the game. But yeah. No, I would never get an Avast stream, Rocket. I'm not famous enough. I'm like at 2,000 Twitter followers too far away. I cannot stream Tier 2 scrims.
He's played really well again.
That is, no, I cannot do that.
Talking about Corey, Stratus, you know, the damage dealers for the job.
Stratus, are you okay? Do you need a doctor? I think you might do. No, you know what? Here's what happened, okay? Okay, here's what happened. Stratus was like, hey guys, I'm playing Pharah. I need my glasses right now. I need my sunglasses. But you can't see your monitor with your sunglasses. I do not need to see my monitor when I'm playing against the Titans. And he just decides to put on his sunglasses and it's like, I hear footsteps in front of me. I'm playing purely off sound this entire round. So this is an example of him playing purely off sound, turning his monitor off with sunglasses on. And that's what happened.
So that'll be a barrage here. That is a mood from Stratus. Why not?
He didn't die, so it's fine.
I think Guido on the Honest had a really nice day there. A lot of biotic grenades here to hit from the support of the Justice.
Axel dominated there. Guido assisting. Those Honest shots helping to bring down the Pharah. And not in a...
Hey, can you make a video on your learning thought process? I would if I were good at editing videos. I am very bad at editing videos, and I just rant, so I'd rather do it in a stream. What I realized about thinking and learning about new metas is that I do not know anything. That's what I learned. I know nothing at all. Like, I know nothing whatsoever. And the way to think about it is, I know that my players are good on these 6 heroes. Until I know what the meta is, I'm gonna put my players in what they're good at. And then I'm gonna have the optimal tank duo, I think. And I'm a big fan of experimenting, but players usually do not like experimenting, so you end up playing whatever the other teams are playing. So you never get to like explore a meta. Because teams only scrim during the season. This is a big problem with tier 2, tier 1. It's a big problem for the game in general. New meta equals excuse to play Doomfist. Do you assume I need an excuse to play Doomfist? I'm sorry, I knocked over my mic. No. Like, the problem with Overwatch as an esport fundamentally, when it comes to development of, I'll tell you, I am Apple. I am Apple. I used to be in a team with Gypsa 2 years ago. I was the coach of a team with Gypsa on it. It was only on it for like 2 weeks, but I used to scrim with Gypsa. And that was on release of Doomfist. Doomfist has just been released into the game, and our player was like, hey, I need to focus on school. I cannot scrim right now, I cannot play tournaments. And one of our players is like, hey, I know Gypsa, Doomfist was just released, he's broken. You just want to one-trick Doomfist for 2 weeks and play in a tournament? Yeah, sure. So I was on team with Gypsa for 2 weeks. On Doomfist release when he was absolutely broken out of your mind. But that's a different story. And then we got the link to stand-up comedy shows. No, I am hilarious, I know. I am severely funny. My sense of humor is like the desert. No one cares about it. Like, literally no one cares about it. I have a very bad sense of humor. No. What was I talking about? I was talking about the fundamental issue of esports of Overwatch, yes. So the problem is that the seasons in Overwatch are super compact. And the duration between the seasons is too long without anything happening, so there's no incentive to scrim between seasons. Like, right now, tier 2 teams who are not in playoffs are gonna have 5 months, or 4 months of not scrimming. That is 4 months that could be used to explore the meta, improve as a team, playing pugs, like making content, doing that kind of stuff, but it's 4 months of teams doing nothing because the teams want breaks. Look at League of Legends or Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike is still a big esports because there's always something going on. There's always a tournament coming up, and not every team participates in every tournament. It is, okay, in 1 month there's this tournament where these 10 teams participate. Then in another month there's another tournament, 5 teams from that previous tournament participates and 5 new ones. And then the 5, there wasn't like, you don't need to participate in every tournament, but every month there is something happening, so there's always a reason to practice. So the problem with Overwatch is that there's no reason to scrim when there's not a season, because you know exactly when it's going to come, you know how long you're going to need, and then you're not going to be practiced between this. Yeah, I think this is, like, okay, the May Reaper comp came from a tier 3 team. I made it all the way to Owl. And Goat's comp started in Europe tier 3. I'm just going to say that. Tier 3 Europe played Goats on release of Break. So don't try to tell me that Goats invented Goats, because we played it before that. And how do the players keep their level if they don't consistently scrim perform? They don't. That is what I'm saying. They do not keep their level. And that is why the level of Overwatch is gonna not improve as quickly as other games. And it's also why the viewership is going to be consistently low, because you have to watch every game to get to, like, see the tournaments, because that's how the game is constructed and the scene is constructed. And players just have no reason to VOD review. They have no reason to practice. They just have no reason to. And it's absolutely stupid. Like, I'm trying to get my teams to scrim during the off seasons, and they just don't want to. They don't want to. I'm like, hey, let's take 2 weeks break after the season, and then we can start practicing again. But why would we? The players go, and they just don't want to. So, I think Blizzard needs to add some sort of incentive to scrim during the off season for tier 2. I don't think adding another season, I don't think going back to the old system, I don't think that is sustainable, I don't think that's a good way to go about it, but you need to have some sort of other tournaments than contenders. You need some tournament for a combination of tier 2 and tier 1. You need some sort of tournament for a combination of tier 2 and tier 3. Some purely tier 2. But you need to give players other options than contenders. You need third-party tournaments, or you need to introduce other tournaments. So, yeah. No, it's another rant. I've ranted so much this stream. Way too much. And thank you guys for staying around for me talking about this. But teams and players need to be more motivated to VOD review, show up for VOD reviews, both in and off-season. And you need to scrim during the off-season. Scrimming the off-season is almost more important than scrimming during the season. Because that's the time when you can figure out and get ahead. And you can't get ahead in this game. It's so stupid. Okay. Yeah, it's a short... Like, I would be so much more interested in OWL if OWL was a consistent thing, currently like it is right now, but I could also watch these team play in tournaments with certain of them. Like, imagine if all the... I don't know if this is an English word. Is this an English word? The Eurasian teams? Is Eurasian a word? The European and Asian teams. So, all the Chinese, the Korean, the European, those OWL teams would have a tournament separate from themselves. Is Eurasian actually a word in English? Because I know it's in Norwegian, but I don't know if it's in English. And then you would have a tournament for the North American teams, and there would be like these two separate tournaments during the off-season, or something. Do you think one-on-one VOD reviews matter more than team VOD reviews, or are they just underrated? I think that VOD reviewing one-on-one should always happen. I think every player should have a one-on-one VOD review every week, and I think there should be at least 2 or 3 team VOD reviews every week. I have never been in a team who wanted to show up for that much, but I think it's necessary. But yeah, let's finish this VOD. I have ranted too much about stuff I shouldn't talk about. The important thing, I get these rants away when I only have 12 viewers, so I don't get in trouble for it. So I don't have to rant about it later.
On the Widow really a lot in this series, and I think that's been the difference. Like his Widow, when we've seen it, it's been pretty good. 7 final blows already. It's just we have not seen him play it. So we have self-destruct.
Kind of swearing where does he put the barrier? Doesn't matter. The rest of his team does their due diligence, gets out of the way.
Axel in the back, and another biotic.
Okay, what's going on here? So I'm gonna explain how this match works now. This character is bad. Let's continue.
Gets a lot of that damage out of the way. Stratus here just staying groundborn for a time, although you think he'd be very safe. Okay, Sunsa manages to find Haxal there.
Nice bumper. You achieved something. You made someone waste an ultimate on you. You're not even worth that.
Bumper picked the wrong day to pick on Stratus. Oh, that's so nasty. That is so...
But this is what we talked about, right? Pharah is really good because you don't have to fly. You have the option to fly, but you don't need to. Stratus knows that. He doesn't fly. He doesn't get picked. He plays safe. This is the exact thing that I talk about all the time in my Discord when people ask questions about how to play. Just don't peek the Widows. Just don't peek the enemy DPS. Peek their tanks and then peek their DPS. That's exactly what Stratus is doing. This is super textbook. Textbook, like, look at their tanks and stop their DPS from seeing you. And kill their tanks while their DPS is looking for you. And then you go kill their DPS. This is super textbook. This is exactly how you should play. Like, if there was a way that you should play every single fight if possible, it's like this. And then you feed. But like, yeah. When he picks that Widow up, he should just back off, but kill the tank. Doesn't matter what resource you use, just kill the tank and then go for DPS. And don't let the DPS peek you until the tank is dead.
You done your job. 6 seconds left now, and Vancouver Titans are hurtling towards their very first.
Can Titans make it?